Hello, guys. This is awesome. Finally live. Okay. First of all, I need to put on some music and see if everything works. So how is the volume on my voice and music in general? Awesome. Okay, guys. I just want to say hi. Finally. Are you ready? So I call this my first stream, but technically it's not my first stream. I have been streaming before, but just not on this channel. And but yeah, I think it's a whole different thing to do it here with all you guys. So I'm excited. I don't have a clear plan. I have an idea of what I want to do. But yeah, we'll just take it slow. This stream is all about just learning how to stream and how everything works. I mean, this is so weird. This is so weird. But yeah, I'm glad you all are here. And I have something to drink here, so my voice will work for more than 2 seconds. Okay. What do we have here? So this is a seed I found. I can't remember when, but and one thing I really love to do is to kind of find. I talked about this in some of my videos. I love finding seeds that are interesting and just kind of use the terrain that's already there. And if you know my builds, you've probably seen Crystalline Castle. And you can probably tell that this is not that far from the kind of the terrain that I used for that build. So for this one, for this stream here, I thought about just maybe starting out, seeing what I don't have a clear plan. I have a small sketch I made. I won't show you because it's a surprise. But yeah, just see how everything. I mean, just try to build something and then talk with you and trying to manage the chat and building. This is new to me, so I'll take it slow. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, let's see what you all are writing. Yeah, that's a vagabond on my shelf. Awesome series. I haven't finished it yet, but I bought all the volumes because they were quite hard to find in the place I live. So I just got them all. I think I'm on the 5th one. What PC do I have? My PC, it's one I built myself or with the help of a friend. So it's just like a desktop with you're not the only one who hasn't seen me in person. I haven't shown my face and on any of my videos. I think my hands are shown when I draw sometimes. Hi from Denmark. What GPU? I have NVIDIA 4070 Super, I believe it's called. Yeah. You're looking fire. Yes, I am on fire. Hi6, I want you to thank you for all your awesome builds. You're welcome. You're welcome. And you just finished, so not Chris, you finished the Emerald Cathedral. Awesome. That's one of my later tutorials. I hope it's easy. From what I've heard, it's easier to follow than some of my older tutorials. And the thing is, when making tutorials, there's so much stuff you're learning along the way where I kind of things I don't think about while making the tutorials, and people kind of give their comments to stuff that's missing or things that could be made in a more easier to understand way. So that's yeah. So for each tutorial, hopefully I'm doing better for each tutorial. So, and Sandy is there. Hi, Sandy. So Sandy is the one I streamed with on her channel. So check her out. But yeah, let's have a look. Okay. Yeah. So the rough kind of idea I have for this stream is to or this build is to create something that like a build that kind of is like Crystalline Castle, but I'm trying to incorporate different elements. So I'm thinking, so I haven't, the latest version I have been of Minecraft I've been using is 1.21.7. So all the new blocks, like the copper crates and all that, iron golems and copper golems, and also the new ones for the latest update, the cinnabar and sulfur blocks. I haven't used those, so wait, isn't this? Am I on the wrong one? Oh, I should be on the right one. Let's just have a look. So the copper crates are all there. Oh, it's because it's a snapshot actually. So maybe you can tell me in chat, the latest blocks, that's just a snapshot, right? So they're not actually in the. So that now you can see how uninformed I am on the game. But yeah, that's probably just because it hasn't been released in its full. What are we building today, Sandy? We are building a giant build as always. Yeah, copper crates, they came in 21, yes, but they came in 8 or 9 or something, and I was on 7, so I haven't used them before. But the cinnabars, they will be added. I think, yeah. And yeah, okay. But yeah, I'm not sure how I want to build. I think I'm not going to. So you can see I have Axiom installed, and if you guys don't know Axiom, that's it's a more advanced version of World Edit basically. So if we're going to use it, we'll have to see. I'm not sure yet. And for now, I think I'll just lay out some of the outline of the building, and then we'll see how it goes. And I might use some of these tools to kind of texture us, add different things. But usually, I use it a lot for sketching in general. So whenever I do something I build for myself, I usually use Axiom or World Edit. But for my time-lapse videos, I try to just do everything manual to kind of have that full experience of seeing everything being built at in real time, but in manually basically, which is a pain to do. Utgard took 2 months to make, I think. That this was with video and the seed. Of course, you can get the seed. So this is the seed. You can just post it here, I believe. So so yeah, and the coordinates you can see here on screen. We are at, well, yeah, this is actually flipped compared to how it usually is. So it's here on the right, yeah, but around 50 and minus 900, yes. Okay, awesome. Let's just start with, you know what, I'll start with just a really colorful block. Usually when I build, I don't use color-coded blocks as much. I like to kind of, I mean, for time-lapse videos, I enjoy using blocks that I will use in the final build, so I don't kind of color-coded. But I mean, it is really useful to do that in a lot of ways, to kind of lay out the blocks with a block you can easily kind of see, and you can change if you want to. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe adding a tower here, a tower on this one, and then bridges in between, and then up here I'm thinking just multiple towers that kind of shape themselves to the outline of the mountain. And I think one of the neat things about using the terrain as it is that it's I mean, I'm one of those that actually don't enjoy terraforming that much. It's not one of the things I enjoy compared to building. I mean, I do it sometimes, but finding a really nice seed is a good way of just, I mean, using that. And then you already, when you have a nice seed, the shape of the buildings, some of those kind of things that you would have to kind of think about how everything is shaped, I find it much easier to, if you have something like a mountain like this, it's much easier to kind of make decisions on where to build and how to build. So yeah, that's what I enjoy. At least for one type of building. I mean, when it comes to more solitary builds, I have spoken about this a lot of times, that with solitary builds I usually make them or design them beforehand, because they're not really I mean, dependent on the terrain at all. So and then again, this is, if you've seen some of my guide videos and kind of video essays about building, you've probably heard me say this many times, but I usually try to build everything with in uneven numbers. I find it much easier to design stuff. Yeah, it's just a general thing. So here I would count. So yeah, also a thing you probably experience is that I'm not a fast builder by any means. You see people that build really fast and use these tools efficiently, where they just, I mean, they're really fast, and they use Axiom in a way that is much more kind of I don't know how you would describe it, but more like you would use like a 3D modeling software instead of Minecraft. And I like to keep it kind of more vanilla-ish, kind of play like I've always done. So that's why I just take it slow and build in my own tempo. Okay, so I'm just counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is already an uneven number. And over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's actually exactly the same. So this is nice. Okay, I'm neglecting the chat. That's a thing I need to get used to. Talking to the chat, reading the chat, and then so I will just try and have a look here. Let's see. Good luck. Thank you. Yeah. You learn from a lot of my builds. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sandy, you think I sound great? I'm glad you do. It's all going well so far. Now I'm jinxing it, perhaps. I will do something that I shouldn't, or say something that I shouldn't. No, I think it's fine. I mean, again, I have streamed before, so it's not like I haven't been talking to a chat before, but it's different on your own channel, especially if you have a lot of people watching. I think that's really something I need to get used to. But yeah, okay. So let's just, okay, for this one here, let me show you a couple of things you can do with Axiom now that I'm at it. So again, if I were building in for a video, I would do this in the block type I want to use. So I would have to think about like exactly which blocks I would use and then go from there. And here I'm just using this to kind of make it easier to see. So here we can do a lot of stuff. We can use the extrude tool. This is actually quite nice. Then you can right and left click and it will simply extrude all the blocks or expand all the blocks that of the same color. So from here it will take the block here and those, it will add those, and then so that's a nice way of kind of expanding stuff. And you can do the same on the side here or below. And again, for some of the builders that are used to using this tool, they can build a lot faster and use it in a way that that is much more kind of efficient. And I think that's awesome. And I think we should all build the way we kind of feel comfortable. And I like to keep it slow and just take my time. So this is just, I'm just doing this to see how everything is. I might change this later, I'm not sure. So because I actually thought that the new blocks from the snapshot had been added, but they haven't. So I was actually thinking of using the Cinebar, but I can't use that now because I'm just in the normal like the latest release, basically. Yeah. Denmark time is exactly 1949 cent. Yes, we're in the same time zone, I think. My idol, thank you. Don't forget you can delete walls quickly. That's true. Yeah, that's another thing that's really neat with so if some of you have tried Weld Edit, you know that you can use the wand. I have Weld Edit here too. So you can use the wand and then you need to click one place and then another place. Or maybe even you can also write position 1, 2 instead if you want to. And then you have to go in here and say set to 0. So 0, that's air. So that will delete it. But the way it works in Axiom is simply that you can, by left and right clicking, you can actually just see what you're deleting or what you have selected. And then you can use like Control C or Control Z to just undo. So that's really neat. It's called Axiom, yes. Okay, so this is the first tower here. Let's just try and do this for all the kind of volumes we want to create. Okay, we can make a smaller one here, maybe something like this. And so the thing I like about this is that I don't enjoy, so I use another mod called Lightmatica also. And again, some of you guys have probably tried it. And what you can do with that is you can use create like a hologram, like a blueprint for your builds, and then you can place that in the world and then build from that. And this is really nice for all sorts of things. But I mean, for just building, I really enjoy building. So if you have seen the time-lapse video for Crystalline Castle, which is a bit similar to this one I'm building now. This one was actually not planned at all. The way it was planned was basically just a very rough sketch, and then I just kind of made up the detail as I went along. So kind of the rooftops, the kind of it's not reminiscent of anything particular, but it's a bit, I would say it is a bit reminiscent of kind of Middle Eastern architecture, and a bit of Byzantine architecture too, which is with the flat, more like flat domes, and that kind of choice was made really late in the process. So and this way of discovering your build while building, that I really enjoy that for these types of builds. So I actually don't want to plan too much ahead. It's nice to have a kind of an outline of what I want to build, but nothing particular, nothing nothing too specific, at least. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. Let's just keep the 9 blocks. Sandy, someone is asking me a question. So that's the thing I need to kind of be able. I want to be like Six when I grow up. Me too. Let's see. I mean, it's much harder than. I mean, I know I will get better at this, like watching the chat and kind of jumping from the game to the chat. But it's definitely a thing I need to learn. If I can make a build that inspired by Indian castles, that would be nice. The thing is, I have so many plans for builds that it's difficult to kind of settle on what to do, because I have so many ideas. I have a long list of things I want to do. I mean, I could just keep on building. I won't run out of ideas, which is a good thing. I mean, it's much better to have that problem instead of burning out and not having anything, kind of any ideas of what to build. I have 2 monitors. You say you should invest in a second one, so I have 2. So I have one here. That's the one I'm building on, and then one over here for OBS and the chat. A third would be nice too, but what am I building? So I'm building. I mean, you probably call it some sort of castle. If you've seen Crestling Castle from my channel, it's a build a bit like that. So you can see the mountains here. I will make the outline for the buildings for these 2 giant mountains here and these here, and then build from there, and then make some kind of bridge that connects the 2. So it's basically, it's a lot like Crestling Castle. Do you have a degree in architecture? Yes, I have a degree in architecture from Denmark. Your builds are awesome. Thank you so much. Is it okay to only use mossy stone bricks to texture the Emberheart Castle? I mean, you could do that. A way you can do it is just to change the amount you use. So just concentrate the moss on the lower parts maybe, and then mix it a bit further on top. In general, I don't think, when it comes to texturing, I don't think most of the time that you need that many different types of blocks. I mean, it depends on the build, of course, and some builds need more than others, but yeah, the castle, exactly, Dasha. You've been waiting for this for so long. Awesome. Time to grab a beer. I have some water here. That's enough for me for today. You're looking to go into the University of Toronto for architecture. That is awesome. If it was a hard program for me, I mean, not really. I mean, it takes 5 years here in Denmark to become an architect, and you can. I think I took 5.5 because I wanted like a half a year more to go and for an internship. You usually take an internship throughout. I mean, in the middle of studying, to go to work for an agency and just to learn the ropes. Yeah. But I mean, you learn something for each semester, and you kind of grow with each challenge. So it might seem a bit hard, but I mean, like everything else, if you if you spend the time and have fun with it, and I think it's not that bad. I will say this: it was much more practical of like the studying architecture was much more practical than I thought. I thought it would be more kind of technical, with more kind of need to kind of learn the math behind everything. And the thing is, in Denmark at least, it has been so. The job as an architect was more technical like many years ago, but it has been kind of split in a way that so there's a separate education for the more technical side of it, and then architects are much more focused on the creative process in general. So it is more of a creative way of studying than I initially thought, at least. How are you today, Six Wings? I'm awesome. I mean, I must admit, a bit nervous streaming for the first time and showing my face. I mean, this is thanks for your videos. I'm learning a lot about building in Minecraft. I'm all set to start Utgard. My condolences. No, I mean, it's I like that build, but it is a big build, and a lot of texturing is needed because it's really plain in a lot of ways. If you see the kind of the clean version, it's just a lot of squares or a lot of volumes. So it's really not that interesting until you kind of added this kind of weathering and cracks and fractures. Thanks for your detailed answer. You're welcome. Okay. Let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I'm just making them square just to make it a bit easier. And I might change all of this. This is just, I'm just starting out, and I mean, in general, this stream is mostly about me just getting used to streaming. So I mean, I will not be finishing this build today. But the thing is, so I have one episode left for the Utgard tutorial, and it's a shorter episode. It's only about the furniture, and I think I might be able to release it the next week, but I'll have to see about that. I'm not sure yet. And after that, I have a new video planned for a new build, and this is a really ambitious. We need another Emberhard-like castle, but bigger. Yes, we need that. But the next build I'm building, that, I mean, I have kind of alluded to some in my Discord, especially. I have alluded to what it is, but it is a totally new style of build I haven't never built before. So it's this will be challenging, and yeah. That's all I'm going to say. If you're back, you're going to feed your cat, Dasha. Do that. That's a good thing. Is this the first stream? Yes, this is my first stream on this channel. So I have streamed before with Sandy. That's also in the chat on her channel. So I'm not totally new to streaming. But I mean, if you stream with another person, then you're kind of relying on them to kind of do most of the talking, and then you can just relax. So this is a bit different, I must say. Let's see. You've been stuck on the. I've been stuck on the mausoleum. It's such a massive build. Just gotta chip away at it. Yeah, it is a massive build, and yeah, I'm really. I'm not envious, especially when it comes to. I mean, of course, you should find it fun, but I mean, for stuff like, if you're doing it in survival, for instance, I think it's, yeah, I mean, it's respect from me. That's really, that's a task. I mean, just mining everything that you need for that build, that's kind of crazy. Okay, for now, I'll just leave this be and just make the outline, I think. Yeah, I really need to learn how to manage the chat. But yeah, it's fine. I built part of the same map universe. No, I usually just build for the build itself, and then I can just have that build be part of a world. I like the idea of having a build that you can use for as a survival playthrough, for instance. So people can get the build it themselves, or maybe download the build from me, and then just expand the build or use it for whatever they want to. Because in a lot of ways, it could be cool to actually do a shared, a world where everything is connected. But then I would kind of have to shift my focus to be more about the parts between the builds. And I've usually put all my energy into these large structures, and then just have that singular build. But it is an interesting question, and a thing I do want to kind of expand, and I've done it a little bit with the latest build, the Golden Palace. I tried to make that more of it's not a city, but it is more expanded upon, and then you have the kind of the village around it and stuff like that. So I do want to create. So I have a build planned actually for this Halloween, also a really large build, and that build will be more of a city, or yeah. So I do want to kind of go in that direction for some builds. And then builds I do here on stream, so I have thought about this, that it could be a thing where I build these. Okay, this is not a small build by any means, it's actually a large build, but some of these builds I build here on stream, they could be kind of more mid-sized builds that I do for, not for a video, but just for stream, and then have maybe also add tutorials for those builds, because it is. Oh, you're proud of me, Sandy. Thank you. I'm proud of you too. Yeah, have builds like these be kind of in between builds that I don't necessarily create videos for. I could create a video for this, but it's also nice to just be able to do some builds that I don't create videos for, because when I create a video, I take so much time with these videos, which I love. I love creating videos, but it is a time sink, and it is something that where often there's far between each build because of that. Because I create this entire kind of mythology around one build, and I spent like months creating a video. So yeah. Okay, let's see. The Mausoleum is an amazing build. Totally enjoyed making it. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Yo, you gotta keep doing this. I will keep doing this. Are you even capable of small builds? Myth. You're hurting my feelings. The witch's lair I made a long time ago was quite small, and some of the windmills I made are quite smaller. So I'm capable of it. But when I build something, just something in me just want to create something bigger. I know it's a sickness, really. You love the way I answer every question in detail. I'm glad you do. I'm glad that you feel that way. I must admit that I'm taking it slow just to get to learn how everything works, and it seems to work just fine. Oh, thank you for. I didn't even say thank you for the super chats, but I'd love to see something in a Nordic style. So actually, some of the builds that I have planned is for my North mythology series, where there are 2 builds, and people have been kind of questioning why, especially the Freya's Hall, why it was built the way it was, because the style of it is not really Nordic, but it is a Nordic build, and I kind of alluded to the reason behind that in a video. But the 2 next builds for that series will be 2 well-known locations from Norse mythology, and they will both be more kind of inspired by traditional North architecture in a lot of ways. And I mean, you can probably guess, if you know about a bit about even stuff from Marvel or stuff you've seen, or even God of War with the locations. I can't even remember which locations are actually in the game. I actually only played the first one. I mean, the remaster or remake. So I'm actually not sure about the second one, what parts were there. But if you just know some of the most famous parts of Norse mythology, those will be added to the series. It's not the next build or even the next after that, but I will make those. It's 2 builds, to be precise. Yeah. Asgard, perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps it's Asgard. How much time I spent with each build? I mean, it depends. For Utgard, which was one of the more demanding builds, I took 2 months full-time work, so 9 to 5-ish, 2 months. So 2 months, I can't speak. 2 months full-time work, and this was for everything. So making the build for the build itself for the time lapse was the first month, and the second month was for the cinematic at the end, the story I made there, the short film. Because when I make these, especially that one was so demanding because I needed to create so many. I really needed to create a lot of different like shots for each of the, like for some of the clips. If you see the characters in the video, all of them are me basically. So it's me just walking as Loki, as Thor, as Chalfie, and all the the giants, and then just cutting everything together with basically like a green screen, like you would use green screen in a movie, basically. So it really took a lot of different like shots to even make the like 5 or 10 seconds of it. So yeah, and it needed to be planned out, and I know that part of the video is probably not the part that people usually come to see, but those are actually the ones that I love making the most. So I will keep doing that because I love doing it. And I mean, I think that's the most important thing. Of course, I would love to have those kind of videos be more popular, but I mean, the people that actually see them really tend to like them. So that's enough for me. Okay. Relax, you don't have to rush it, just do your best. We got your back. Thank you. I won't rush anything. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't rush. I mean, at this point, so building alone I could do this fast, of course, but I am like multitasking. That's definitely something I need to get better at. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm just making outlines here, and we can change this later. It's just to get kind of a general kind of shape and order. 6 Wings is Danish. Exactly, I am Danish. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the Freya's Hall thing. So the thing is with that build, it's the idea was to create so in the beginning of that video, there's a quote from the Danish national anthem where Freya's Hall is mentioned. So it's more, that video in general is more of a kind of a tribute to Denmark. And so I wanted to create it in a style that is more associated with Denmark in general, which is a white church with these elements that is used in that build. So in my mind, in a world, so basically Freya's Hall is the place that people go to after they die in battle. And I wanted to create something that was, both like reference to Danish architecture, but also the idea of having something. So it is basically like a Christian church. I mean, a church basically in its styling, but the idea was that kind of the build is basically heaven. So I wanted to have that build be kind of the catalyst of that style of architecture in Denmark. So in my kind of headcanon, that build was what inspired everything after that. So when Harald Bluetooth ushered in Christianity he was the second king of Denmark. So Danish is a 1,000-year-old kingdom, and Harald Bluetooth was the second king, and he was kind of he's most commonly attributed with introducing Christianity to Denmark. So my thought was kind of having that build be the catalyst for that, because you don't see many, you don't really see the style of like the North style. You don't see that in Denmark as a way of building, really, other than kind of for recreations for that. But it's not a style that has been kind of proliferated in Denmark. So I wanted to create something that was more of a tribute to Danish architecture. But yeah, again, the next couple of builds, or the next 2 builds, will be more inspired by northern architecture, you would call it. Okay, please never stop talking about your passion. Thank you. I won't. What are you building right now? So it's basically a castle on these 2 large mountains. I'm just laying out the kind of the blueprint for it, or the blueprint, the outline of the walls. It's pretty random. I'm just creating this to have something to work with, and then yeah, I might. I'm not sure about the materials yet. I was thinking about making it kind of a reddish in color. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. We'll have to see. Do I use references when building? I mean, I do use references, and depending on the build, I would use more. I would use. For Freya's Hall, that the references were basically any white church in Denmark, or not any, but I mean, there are so many churches that have some of the same elements as that one. So that was an easy one in terms of references. For Utgard, that was more like, there wasn't really a one kind of one reference. I mean, there was a bit of kind of Lord of the Rings references from Moria, in particular, kind of with the geometric kind of walls and shapes, very kind of hard-lined, non-rounded shapes. And one of the more kind of obvious references was for Lawweaver's Keep, where I used the one from is it Parma Cathedral in Mallorca, or yeah, I think that's the one. Which, if you know that build, you can definitely see the resemblance of the main kind of the way it's structured, not the materials, but the way it's structured. It's very much similar to that one. Greetings from Germany. Hello. I'm actually half German, so und ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Ein bisschen. You normally get bored from streams, but this one you're not getting bored. I'm happy. I mean, I am building a bit slow, so but yeah, let's. I'll just expand or extrude these blocks just to have a look at what we built so far. And yeah, I know it's some would call this cheating, but I mean, for this stream, it's more about kind of the sketching part. So I'm fine with it for now, to just show you, like in general, how I do these kinds of builds. But I mean, depending on the build for Crystalline Castle, what I did was I actually created the outline. You can see it in the time lapse. So I created kind of the yeah, the corners, all the corners first. So it has kind of a general idea. So what I did was I took a screenshot from, just a second. I took a screenshot from a flattering angle. So from here, for instance, I did this for this one too, and then I simply drew like a shape, some kind of just large shapes that were built from the mountain itself. So in a way, it kind of creates it itself. It's you just use what is already there as a reference, and then kind of the detailing comes later. It ain't cheating. No, I know it's not cheating, Potato. It's I mean, I just said some would call it cheating. I mean, it depends on what you're doing and how you look at it. I think it's fine to use any tool you want to. But yeah, I mean, some purists, some don't even consider. Some consider creative mode cheating. I don't. And I don't think this is cheating either. It's just, I mean, you should just build the way you want to build. So for me, I told this earlier, I usually go for the manual style when I do like time-lapse videos. I like the way, so I tend to do that. I have been making time-lapse videos with World Edit, like some of my earlier ones, but I like the idea of seeing a build kind of manifest itself just in a kind of more natural way where you can see each block being placed. I know it's a hassle to do, but for the video, the quality of the video, I like that. That's what I usually go for. A billion of people on Earth are missing out. Yeah, you should bring them here. Mein Deutsch ist nicht gut. Okay. The only thing I can call cheating comes when art is to use AI. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. To make a living off YouTube, I mean, so I work for my main work as an architect. I actually work from home as a freelance architect. So I do a lot of kind of 3D modeling and stuff for other agencies or for architectural agencies. And so I have that as my base, but I mean, the balance between, it used to be like this. So I used to have that being like the main driver of anything I was doing, and then having YouTube as a second priority, but this is beginning to change more and more. So right now, because of Patreon, I can actually make a living off of YouTube, yes. But I still have my job as an architect, which is nice because it is, it is really nice to have that as a kind of you never know what happens on YouTube and what will end up happening when it comes to, when it comes to, I don't know what could happen. I mean, it's a sad, of course, what I'm doing is fairly safe, but it can feel a bit kind of, how would you put it, not dangerous. I'm a bit afraid of just going 100% full on YouTube and not having anything else if something happens. Okay, so this tool, this is awesome. I showed Myth this the other day. It's the stacking tool, so you can select what you want to select and then just scroll up and down and just so it's actually much quicker than the expand tool. But yeah, they each have their uses. Yeah, first stream. Yes, first stream. It is. Oh, so the music, is that all right? Is it fine? I mean, or is it too low? You think? Compared to my voice, I think it shouldn't overpower my voice. It's perfect. Awesome. Music is perfect. So just one thing. Let me go full screen just Look at what I got. Look how cute! It's a lamp. I actually got this for the stream. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to stream with Facecam, but I figured it's a conversational piece to have something to talk about. People can talk about what I have on my shelves. So these shelves, they were actually not built for anything with streaming in mind. I built those a couple of years ago for just for my office here, and yeah, I think it's a nice way of kind of showing things off. Anything really, maybe. So I have my dream is to get a 3D printer at some point, and then print some of the models and have them here on the wall. That could be awesome. Yeah, for the first stream, I have this set up pretty professionally. I agree. I'm that sort of person that needs everything to be in order, because I don't want to be unprepared. And I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. I'm not sure. But I'm a bit too over. I'm probably too much in my head when it comes to stuff like this. So I need everything to be kind of working properly. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, let's have a look here. Just to see. So again, I might change this. This is just to have some sort of shape to work with, and then we'll see. I might change all of this. I'm not sure. So let's go over here. You're doing amazing. Don't worry. Thank you, Myth. Then I won't worry. We sat for a while getting this ready. Yeah. Sandy helped me with everything. So she knows. She's been streaming for a long time, so she knows everything there is to know about streaming. And yeah, we went through all the kind of things that needed for streaming, for like when it comes to OBS. So I'm using OBS, and right now I've set things up quite in a simple way, sort of. So I don't have anything on screen other than, yeah, of course, my face cam, but I don't have a kind of the chat on screen, and I don't have like other stuff. You can have all sorts of things. You probably seen a lot on other streams. I just wanted to keep it a bit more simple, just to get to know everything and see how everything works. And up until now, it seems like it's going okay, which is awesome. But yeah, for the next video I alluded to the next video, like for the next build, I will actually, so maybe you've seen, so here you might have seen the MIDI keyboard here. So I want to create the music myself for that. That's scary. I want to create the music for that video myself, and I'm not a musician by any means. I mean, I can play a little bit of guitar. I know like the basic stuff when it comes to kind of music theory. But I mean, in general, I'm not a musician. But I really want to try and add the music to it. And I have this synthesizer here that I bought. I bought that for that video actually. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And now that I said that it's a synth, I can't speak. A synth. Some of you might even kind of know what kind of build I'm making. I mean, the genre of build I'm making because of that style of music. I will add all sorts of kind of instruments I'm thinking, but the synths part will be part of it. So yeah, you can. Thanks for the stream. Live demands that I stop watching for now. Okay, thank you so much for coming by. I hope that you are coming next time I'm streaming. So I don't know when I'm going to stream next time, and if I'm making a schedule or anything, I'm not sure. And I'm not even sure how to, or not how to, but what to do going forward when it comes to what to stream. I think at some point I want to bring others on. I really want to. I have spoken to a couple of other YouTubers about bringing them on, maybe to showcase their builds and compare stuff and compare the way we build. Maybe just, yeah, have a look at some interesting, like, smaller YouTubers that, I mean, there are so many great builders that only have a couple of, I mean, not that many subscribers, and some of them are just amazing builders. So it'd be awesome to bring on others just for a stream, and also for other stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be building every time. It could be other stuff too. And also, I mean, stuff like a survival playthrough could be nice too. I actually have some survival videos on my channel. I have 3 episodes, I think, and the last one was over 3 years ago. And I didn't speak in those. They were more kind of cinematic style, kind of. They weren't Let's Plays, more of kind of edited videos from my survival world. But I do really miss it. So I would love to go back and finish the build I did back then, because that build is actually it's supposed to be an item sorter, and with the new golden sorters you can build now, I think it could be awesome to maybe do something like that, and then you use a system like that. Maybe, yeah. This is going to be amazing. This makes me so happy. This is all I've ever wanted. Really? Thank you so much. That's awesome. Is this going to be a video? You know what? I haven't even recorded anything yet. I might. Yeah, I should probably have. So I have flashback here. You know what? I will create the outline first and then record from there, and then I might use some clips from the stream or add maybe some stuff after. But I'm not sure yet. It is nice to have the option to make a video, rather than, I mean, not having the footage and then yeah, not being able to after you're already done building. Okay, copper golems are pretty dumb when it comes to sorting, sadly. Okay. So the kind of sorter I need for this build is a sorter that can sort out a lot of different kinds of things, but with but not like many like in quantity, like in small quantities basically. So I don't know if they're good at that or not. I'm not sure, but we'll have to see. Do you know about Donut SMP? Not really. I don't know about Donut SMP. I can't wait for all the collabs. Awesome spot. Or potato. Yeah, seeing the collections of all the 3D models, they would be cool little mementos. Yeah, they would. Say Stonks, hi. I can't lie, I'm staring at your window. It's so nice. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yes. So house and why? I actually finished just one of all of yours. Okay. I mean, they are big and time consuming. So I mean, just finishing one, that's impressive. I challenged myself to build a sanctum in 100% survival a few years ago, and a server I play on, and I was so proud when I completed it. Awesome. Yeah, I really like the Sanctum. I think, I don't know, I think it's one of those builds that, in a way, it's the opposite of Utgard, because Utgard is very, how would you say it, dependent on texturing and adding cracks and adding the snow. It's really not a great build if it's clean, basically. And I think with the Sanctum, it's basically the opposite. You can make that without doing any sort of texturing. I mean, the dome could probably need a bit of texturing, but in a lot of ways, it doesn't need much, I think. So yeah, that's. I actually mostly enjoy building like that. In general, like having a lot of detail and kind of creating the variety by changing up block types. And yeah, I built 3 so far: Sanctum, Mausoleum, Emberheart Castle, and I just started Utgard. Awesome, that's really impressive. What is your favorite build of my own builds or in general? It's difficult to tell. I mean, I don't know really. I think my favorite build is probably it comes down to multiple builds. I think the Sanctum is probably up there. Crystalline Castle is one of my favorites. I actually really like the Virulence, the Halloween build I made. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I mean, also the Mausoleum I really like. So the Mausoleum was made or designed because I designed that build right before starting the channel. So it was built before I actually made my first video. And the way it was kind of the story behind the Mausoleum was that I built my very first build for the channel was on my survival world I had before starting the channel, and that build you can probably tell is quite close to how the Mausoleum looks. And I found out about World Edit just before I started the channel. I didn't know about World Edit like years ago, and that's when I wanted to scale up the cold tower to just a much larger build, and yeah, I mean, kind of takes a lot of the same elements but just scale it up. So that's what I did. And then I used a lot of, from both builds, I used a lot of like elements. Hey, Josie, hi. You here too. I used a lot of elements from both builds to create the Emerald Cathedral. So you can probably tell the middle tower is actually the same one as my first build on the channel, from the first video. And the smaller, like minor towers, they're the same as the minor towers from the Mausoleum. And this is one of the things I encourage people to do, and I do a lot myself, is to kind of have some details you're kind of comfortable with, or kind of, not details, but designs you're comfortable with, and then using them as kind of for different builds, and yeah, like almost like assets in a video game where you can reuse stuff. I think that's a good way of doing it. I mean, of course, you want to kind of change the things up, and there's all sorts of ways to change the things up, but there's nothing wrong with reusing stuff. And I actually did the same for so the monastery, also one of my favorite builds. That one was also a kind of continuation of the the cold tower and the Mausoleum, kind of the same structure. You can see some of the similarities, even though it is a lot different in other ways. So some of the same kind of design elements are there. Do you play survival mode in Minecraft? Do you like survival? I love survival mode, but simply because of all the projects I've had the last couple of years with my channel, I've just done those instead, and yeah, I mean, it's those have just taken precedence. So the last survival video I made was over 3 years ago, and yeah, I really want. So I actually stopped in the middle of building something, so I need to go back and create a video for that one. And I would love to kind of start a new playthrough of some sorts. I don't know in what context, if I want to create a server that people can join or just have my own kind of world. It could be both. I'm not sure yet. But I would love to play more survival, definitely. It's simply kind of a zero-sum game when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, there's so many things I want to do and so little time, so that's just how it is. Yo, man, I support you. Thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. So Dasha, I built a bunch of tree assets, and I'm now making a giant forest. It's taking a really long time, but it's so worth it. That's awesome. And for trees, I think that's a good way of doing it. And I do that too because I don't create that many kind of organic builds, but I do add trees, custom trees from time to time. And I do like to have some kind of some trees to kind of use or reuse or expand upon. So I think that's a good idea. Your builds are awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my god, a server would be amazing. Yes, a server would be amazing. And I have actually kind of talked about this for a long time. And I mean, it's just one of those things that I just need to kind of do at some point. But I'm just not sure how to use it in terms of videos for my own stuff I'm using. I mean, I don't necessarily have to do that, but yeah, I kind of need to figure out the purpose of the server. If it's a server with like a singular focus, if people should build like in a certain way, or I'm not sure about that yet. But I mean, yeah, it could be awesome to have a server, definitely. Do you like architecture of European cathedrals? Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of my builds are some version of that. I mean, some sort of version of that. And I mean, they are popular for a reason. And I do love, of course, Gothic architecture, but also a lot of other different styles, Romanesque and Byzantine architecture. And in particular, so the thought process of Baroque architecture I really like when it comes to, so Baroque architecture is all about contrast. So if you talk about Baroque painting, Caravaggio, stuff like that, Rembrandt, it's all about the contrast, the dramatic, the kind of the really strong shadows and highlights. So there's some drama there. And when it comes to architecture, it's basically the same, but just in terms of scale. You have all the detail, and you have the large structures, like really large like pillars. So there's a contrast there between all sorts of elements. And there's also a lot of so where Renaissance was much more about balance and proportionality and having everything be in harmony. And so a facade was really nicely laid out in a like a harmonic way, you could say. Baroque is much more about the drama and having large pillars, and I really like the 3D-ness, you could say, of use of thinking in having the mindset of Baroque architecture. I like that more from my style of building, where everything is three-dimensional. A wall is not just a wall, it's a collection of pillars that are a formation of pillars. So there's not just one facade, it's layered. And that's one of the kind of it's not that I build Baroque architecture like one-to-one. It's definitely a whole kind of, I have my own kind of way of incorporating it into my build, but the thought process is very much like Baroque in nature, you could say. So I think I lean towards that in a lot of ways when it comes to the thought process behind it. Six, your voice is so soothing, man. Thank you. Hi, you're definitely among the best architects in the world. I doubt that, but thank you so much. 6, how and when did you start building mega builds in Minecraft? Generally, you want to hear the lore. So actually, I made a video about that called remaking my first build. It's one about the built that I called the Firth Cathedral, and I talk about my history. So just a quick summation of that. So I started building in 2011, and at the time you could only build at, I think it was 64 blocks from the ground level, or from the ocean level. So I couldn't build anything bigger than that. And then later they expanded that to 192 blocks, I think it was first. I can't remember exactly. And that's when I started creating kind of bigger builds. And I think in 2015 I began building large builds. And that's one build that is very reminiscent of the first build I made back in 2015. Really big, but it really simple. It's kind of it has all the kind of the charm of old school Minecraft, you know, where everything is just not textured at all, and it's kind of a window into a different time era of Minecraft. And then when I built the first build from my first video, I built that in before starting the channel, and I made that by watching. So I didn't watch any videos from Minecraft YouTube before around 21. I didn't know about Hermitcraft or any of the other Minecraft YouTubers. So I was very late to the game when it comes to Minecraft like streamers and YouTubers. And at the time in 21 I started watching Hermitcraft, and I also watched Mythical Sausage, the YouTuber with the best name ever. and he was so good at making kind of like small to middle scale builds, and really kind of the way he details and uses texturing is so. I mean, for that I would just watch him, because for some of his I mostly watch his hardcore let's plays, and he was really good at kind of adding all his kind of love into the detailing of it. And yeah, I watched him a lot, and it was mostly from him I learned about texturing. So I took the kind of the more stringent and old school way of building and added that with learning about texturing, and kind of combined that, and that's when I started building more in the way I build now. So I would say 2021, that's about the time I started building more modern style builds. And then the rest is history. And you can see what I built on my channel. That's mostly what I built in general. Whoa, a super chat. Awesome, thank you. I learned a lot from your tutorials. They helped me build many things. Awesome content, keep it up. Thank you so much. I'm really glad it helped you. We love sausage, exactly. Would you join Hermitcraft if you could? I mean, yes and no. I mean, of course it would be awesome to join Hermitcraft. I just feel like I would need to kind of leave everything else behind, and so in a way I don't want to. But of course it would be hard to say no to that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Don't ask me that. It's too difficult. I mean, in a lot of ways, I would probably say yes, and then just make time for everything else I wanted to do. I mean, making tutorials takes a long time, and I would also leave people. I mean, or do less of that too. So. I just built the Mausoleum Mega build on my SMP. That's awesome. That's great. It's so great to get to see you. I'm a big fan. Thank you. That's awesome. So did you learn so much about architecture? I am an architect. That's my job. And the great thing is I work from home already. So it's really great to kind of mix in my work with Minecraft in a way that I can jump between them. I can half of the day I can work on one thing and then jump over to the next. I don't have to go anywhere to do one or the other. So it mixes well with everything I'm already doing. And in a lot of ways, the way I work is not that different from my main work. It's actually weirdly similar. So what did get me into architecture? I mean, I always love kind of being creative and building stuff, but I think I didn't know much about the kind of like the job of an architect in particular before in high school. I think when I heard someone from, it was someone studying architecture that told our class about everything about architecture, or everything about being an architect and how everything works and how studying architecture is, and that's when it clicked, and I began to kind of get a feeling of, okay, this is what they actually do. And then I just never looked back. Yes, I want to be an architect. And then the year after high school, I moved and then started studying architecture. Where do you come from? I'm from Denmark. I don't know if you answered this, but when do you think you're dropping the final tutorial of UCAD? I will drop that soon. It's I haven't made it yet, but it's a very short video compared to or at least shorter than the last one. So it will be out in hopefully next week or maybe the week after. But I think I should be able to do it the upcoming week, I think. And then I will be starting a new build and also a new tutorial, but not quite yet. So the thing is, okay, I love making all the videos on my channel. I love making, and especially so the tutorials. It's a weird thing because, in a way, other videos are more interesting to me for myself because I'm creating new things is more inspiring instead of going back to your old builds. But I also love the kind of adding in kind of. So if you've seen some of the intros for my videos, for my tutorials, I try to kind of weave in some lessons in learning about how to build, and so I really like doing that too. And I also like the response and people being happy with being able to build kind of Minecraft videos or Minecraft builds in general. So I get joy out of providing that too. So don't think that I definitely enjoy that too, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't just do that. I really need to kind of create new stuff and get inspired by new builds and videos. So yeah, I definitely need to change it up a bit. I feel like I could listen to you speak for hours. Thank you. Do you feel that Minecraft architecture is similar to real world architecture? I mean, it can be. So the thing is with building in Minecraft, I am a proponent of. I see Minecraft as a medium where you can go all kinds of directions when it comes to the style of it. I really like the diversity of styles. So there is, after Axiom, the tool I'm using now, this tool here, after this was released, I think this changed a lot when it comes to the way people build, or some people build. And people are able to build these really detailed and really kind of realistic builds. They kind of make builds one-to-one. I've talked about that before in some of my videos, and I think that is awesome. But for myself, what I enjoy building Minecraft builds that have level aspects of real life architecture, but mixed in with kind of the more kind of Minecraft style. Basically, it's not a style, but what I mean is the way you kind of create close-up detailing that is usable in Minecraft for playthrough. I really like that it works up close and from far away at the same time. So this kind of tension between that I like. So in that way it's different, but it can be very similar to real life. It can be if you want it to be. But I do like to kind of make up my own type of detailing by just using the detailing in a kind of an abstract way. I don't try to recreate details from real life. I just make what looks pleasing up close, and then in its entirety it might look like something from real life, but if you look closer it's actually a bit abstract in a way, you might say. Axiom is a game changer. Yeah, it is a game changer. Kathleen Crafting yeah, I know that channel. They make awesome builds too. Let's see if I forgot something. What is your favorite architectural style? I mean, I talked a bit about it. I mean, Gothic architecture is awesome, and so I'm probably one of those architects that appreciates pre-modern architecture more than modern architecture. I do love some modern architecture. I think there are some really great modern builds. But the thing about modern architecture, and when I say modern, I'm saying from like the 1920s, where the modernist architecture, kind of the inception of that, until now, because there was a huge shift from like neoclassical to Art Nouveau, or Jugendstil, it's called in German, but Art Nouveau, that was kind of the last style that really incorporated detailed detailing with like nature and all sorts of yeah, I mean, almost fantasy-like detailing, and after that there was a hard reset where the modernists came in, and then they completely changed architecture forever. Everything became streamlined and form follows function. It was minimalism, which has its use, there's some value to that too. But I'm one of those that actually, I'm a bit more of a nostalgic architect, because actually, especially here in Denmark, it's people are a bit snobbish about pre-modern architecture. They actually like modern and simple or minimalist architecture much more than like Gothic architecture or Baroque, or I get the kind of the reasoning behind that, but I mean it's not something that I do really enjoy. All sorts of styles. I mean, I mentioned Gothic, but Baroque, Byzantine, Romanesque, all sorts of styles. Okay, I'm just counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I enjoy creating everything, so it's in an odd number, so uneven numbers. I find that much easier to work with when it comes to kind of detailing. I'm a bit rigid that way, but yeah, that's just how I build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's add another one here. These questions are, yeah, I feel like I'm missing some questions, but yeah. 6, is there any projects you started but couldn't complete? I mean, I have posted like some pictures of some kind of rough shapes. I think I posted a picture on my Discord, on my Patreon a couple of years ago. It was a build that actually became the monastery. It was a much larger version of that, but I ended up going back and scaling it down, having it be more kind of it just became too much for me to build. But I didn't really start it in a sense. I just made just volumes basically. So it's not really a project I didn't finish because it wasn't really started in any meaningful way. Yeah. Keep them coming. Yes, I will, Sandy. I will. I keep trying to build Romanian architecture, but they like to use awkward angles for Minecraft. So what I meant for Romanian, what I said was Romanesque. So Romanesque, I think that's what it's called in English. I think it's Romanesque. That's the precursor to Gothic architecture. So it's kind of, yeah, it was made around 1,000 years ago, roughly. And it was a more kind of rough version of Gothic. It was the precursor to Gothic architecture. Would you ever make a build inspired by a movie or TV show? Maybe something from Star Wars, Hobbit, Batman, just throwing ideas out there. So definitely inspired by, but I usually try to only build my kind of original builds and then get inspired by stuff. It's not that I'm not saying that I won't ever do it, but kind of recreating kind of exact copies of things. There are people that do that and that are really good at it, and I think it's awesome to do. But I enjoy doing something that's something new, basically. But of course, it could be inspired by it, and especially for the next build I'm making, I will definitely be looking at some movies. There are definitely some movies that will inspire me. Eberhard Castle. I mean, Eberhard Castle is probably mostly inspired by Neuschwanstein Castle from Germany. It's one of the most famous kind of 19th century castles in the world. That was the inspiration for the castle, for the Disney castle. So if you've seen that, you can probably tell why it is. It inspired that, because it's very similar in a lot of ways. And I think, I mean, of course, Eberhard Castle is different, but kind of some of the elements was definitely taken from that. But I mean, in a lot of ways, my builds, they are not. I mean, the inspiration only goes so far. I do change a lot when it comes to the final build. You, sir, are asking the right questions. Yes, Dasher has good questions. What is a Minecraft block color texture that you feel should be added by Mojang? I feel we are quite lacking blue blocks. Definitely agree. Blue blocks would be awesome to have. I would love to have more blue blocks, or just a selection of blue blocks. And I would like. I know that white blocks is a thing, but I look here at the white blocks. So we have pale oak. Well, pale oak is great. It's not really. It has a slight kind of pinkish tint to it. I would love. So I've said this before. I would love them to either expand diorite to be like a whole kind of selection, like the same way that they added tough blocks and for all the others, so you have all the variants, or it could be a new block. I would like a stone type block that's clean, white, no, not pink, not yellowish. It has to be clean. And quartz is there, I know too, but I believe quartz is also kind of tinted a certain way. I mean, it's fairly. Maybe I'm nitpicking here. I'm not sure, but I always felt it was a bit. I don't know, a bit too smooth. Also, I like the more kind of rough texturing of basically what you see here with tough. So all the basic ones. So you have the bricks, and the variations of that. So they could just add those to diorite and basically have that instead, and then expand that. But it could also be a new block. I don't care really. I want more stairs and slabs variants. Yeah, I want more wall block variants, because when it comes to wall blocks that are. Did I lose the music? I did. We can also try. Okay, let's just keep the same playlist. Yeah, I want to have more wall blocks because of. Yeah, especially. I don't think there are any kind of links between like wall blocks, like stone wall blocks, and maybe something like mud wall blocks, and maybe some of the colored version. I think there should be more there, but I mean, yeah. Lilac Wood said, yeah, that could be awesome. Calcite could be expanded too. Yeah, definitely. My friend just asked me who is Sixpence. After he asked what I'm doing, I've got to educate him. Yeah, do that. Educate him. Now, you're building the Sanctum. Awesome. And Alex, you said that concrete should be stairs and slabs. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be used for anyways. Yeah. Which build tutorial of yours would you recommend? Oh, this is hard to say. I mean, I have smaller size builds. Again, if you look at my channel, some of the small to mid-size builds are easier to make. But if you want to go for it, you can do something for like the Mausoleum. That's the most, the biggest video tutorial I have. I mean, view-wise. But that also means that more. People have been building that, so maybe you want to build something that isn't that common. But I mean, the Birch Blossom Castle, if for something Japanese, is quite a cool build, and you can add your own kind of variations to it. Josie, you want purple, black, and white wood? Yes, I understand. And green. What got you into Minecraft? I mean, I played it. A friend of mine showed it to me back in 2011, and I actually started by playing on a server back then, a survival server, all the way back then. Yeah. So I was originally like exclusively a survival player. Sixwing is the bestest Minecraft builder on YouTube. Oh, that's too much, Sandy. Too much. No, thank you. Try the bathhouse. The bathhouse, that's more manageable than some of the others, but definitely the bathhouse. What do we build today? Okay, so yeah. So let's just... So today I'm building a castle, basically. So if you've seen... So I'm just going to start recording now. I should have done this from the beginning, but it doesn't matter. But right now I've just outlined some of the kind of volumes I'm building from for this castle style build. So roughly I'm building on these two mountains, kind of the main mountains are these two, and I'm building kind of structures here that will be connected with a bridge. So if you've seen seen Crestling Castle on my channel, it's something like that basically, and but of course with a bigger span between the mountains, and then these two smaller ones, they will also connect in some sort of way. But yeah, for now I just outlined the kind of general kind of blocks, and I might change this up. There's nothing is set yet. I'm just trying to kind of figure out kind of the size of it, and yeah, we are building the castle exactly. The first one I tried was the Dragon Palace, and it was a labor of love to finish, but it was a focal point of my world. That's awesome. Yeah, I really like that one too. I really like that one too. I love your Japanese style. Your Japanese builds so much. I'm literally building all of them. That's awesome. That's awesome, Akira. Okay. Let's try and... Okay, this is what I'm going to do now. Just because, as I told you earlier, I'm actually not fond of using colored wall blocks. I like to see the block I'm building with from the beginning. So let's just change this up just for now. And yeah, again, as I told you, I will, depending on what kind of build I'm making and for what video, I might or might not be using different tools for it. So usually when I do my time-lapse videos, I will usually just build everything manually in creative mode, but build everything manually, and then why can't I? And I'm doing this simply for the simple reason that I think it looks better for a time-lapse style of video. I have used like WellEdit for some, but I tend to go with the kind of the manual route. But for kind of sketching and doing stuff off screen, like I will basically be doing a bit like this, where I just build, and then I might use Axiom or WellEdit for different things. Oh, what I'm doing, I have effed up. I have done something horrible. Look at what I just did. I can say undo, so it's fine. But I just I forgot to write anything at the end. Oh, another block at the end. So what you usually do is say replace red wool with something else. So that's something that you should be aware of. I've done that before. The worst thing you can do is to do that with a kind of block that is, I don't know, grass or something that has, or maybe even an entity or something where everything just crashes because it's too much to handle. Okay, for now, let's just change this to... Okay, let's have a look. So I would like to use something different than mud bricks. I don't want it to be exactly like is
position a part of action on the position tool, and what I just did, this is part of world edit. I use world edit a lot. I use for texturing. I enjoy using world edit actually. Just made the world red, yeah, exactly. I love using your build to inspire and inform my own designs. Big fan of the way you detail with mostly survival-friendly techniques. Yeah, that's awesome. It allows for so many more usable tricks when working on my own stuff. Yeah, and I think in general, I don't think that... I mean, I think that a lot of details, like vanilla style details, actually works well enough when it comes to, I mean, especially in the scale that I built, you can actually, there's more than enough detail in just using fences and stuff like that. I mean, you don't have to add more detail than what is already in the game. I don't think so, but you can, of course, but yeah. When will the Echelon tutorial be out? I'm not sure yet. I have actually teased that the first cathedral will be the next one. It's not set in stone, but I'm leaning towards that one. And I wish I could clone myself so I can just have 5-6 wings clones just making tutorials. But yeah, I'm just one person, so it takes time. Maybe course. I mean, I'm not sure yet. I think. So I mentioned Cinnabar, but Cinnabar hasn't been added yet to this version. So I was actually thinking something more kind of. I wanted to do something more reddish, but I mean, I'm not sure. I think we will. Okay, I'll just start with the boring one first, just to see how everything will look in sort of in a more simple version. And I think either way, I would maybe try and use some kind of gradient. I like the gradient from the mountain that will change slowly up, like I did. I think I did something similar with the arch tower, where the kind of the border between the mountain and the building is kind of smeared, or kind of smeared. Is that a word? It's kind of faded. Yeah. 6 clones, exactly. 6 clones. Be patient, guys. He's got a job, yeah. 5 wings, not 6 wings. 5-6 wings. Red sandstone. Yeah, red sandstone, more the orange one. That could be cool, actually. Okay. But for now, I think that... no way, is that 6-wing stream? Yes, Sati. That is exactly right. My first stream, not first stream ever. It's the first stream on my channel, and yeah, I have been streaming on Sandy Sparkle's channel. Sandy's in the chat, and joined her stream a couple of times. She has learned me all there is to know about streaming. She's a pro. The 6-wing stream. It is the 6-wing stream. Yeah, exactly, Stonks. A smirk gradient, exactly, yeah. Which is the favorite structure build? Yeah, someone asked that earlier, and I think it is really difficult to answer. I think, I mean, Crystalline Castle, which is a bit similar to this one, that's probably one of my favorites, I think. But I mean, the Sanctum might be one too, like one of my favorites. Oh, yeah, I have to manage the flight speed. It's going crazy. Be cool if you've done a series rating other build worlds, giving tips and ideas how to improve their builds. Yeah, that might be an idea. So I mentioned that I would love to bring other builders on to showcase their builds and maybe compare the different styles. Maybe 6 rates. Yeah, Stonks, you have all the good names. But yeah, having other people on, other builders on that could and showcase their builds and the way they make are kind of built different than I do. So cool that I happened to catch this live. Was just about to hop into an SMP with a friend, but happy to chill a bit for a while. That's awesome. I hope you stay, but no pressure. I will stream again, so you will, if you need to go at some point, just do that. Someone also asked how long I will stream. I think was it Dasha? I'm not sure yet. Maybe an hour more, maybe a bit more than that. I'm not sure. I mean, time flies. So, and I haven't even. I mean, I had no idea how far I would get into building. Obviously not that far, and so yeah, we'll taking it slow. I'm not a fast builder by any means. I like to take it slow, and I also enjoy. So the stuff you can do with Axiom that I haven't done much is to go into the editor mode, and then you can do all sorts of things in here. And I don't enjoy using the tool for that. I enjoy the kind of the normal Minecraft vanilla experience, not the vanilla experience, but kind of the vanilla plus, you could say. So more, I mean, building like I would in creative mode, like I usually would, and then just adding a bit of functionality. I mean, one of the things I love doing is using the hotbar tool, the hotbar swapper. This is awesome. This is just the most amazing thing I've ever had, especially for tutorials, because I can create my own hotbars for all the materials I need and just swap between them easily. I mean, I would install, for creative building, I would install Axiom just for that alone. You don't have to use anything else, but having the hotbar swapper is just so convenient, and you have an unlimited amount of pages you can just create. Yeah, Axiom scares me. I know the feeling. It scares me too. It is it's a really amazing tool, but it is expensive. It has a lot of things to it, so definitely I know the feeling. It is a bit scary. It is. Yeah, I'm just outlining a bit of some of the things I want to add to the build. I mean, in the end, I would probably not use this. I mean, I could just remove it, but why not add something here and then just having this go all the way down? Well, yeah, I would just remove this, and right now I'm just working with full blocks. This is really just the rough shapes, and then I will I think I talk about this in the power of symmetry or asymmetry video, where I talked about kind of starting out with the basic shapes. This is nothing new. You could probably figure that one out for yourself, but I mean, starting out with that is an awesome way of kind of getting started. And then I also enjoy kind of maybe detailing small parts. So I might actually, for some builds, I might start off rough, but then maybe detail kind of one small part just to see, okay, what could work for a later part of the video or for the build. So maybe just try out some minor kind of detailing things. Yeah. Could be cool and interesting to see the different perspectives and ways of thinking, planning, and building by various builds. Definitely, yeah. And also different scales of building. So Josie was in the chat. Maybe she's still here. She's also a great builder. She builds a bit smaller scale, but not necessarily like small scale. But she is great at kind of at that, and so she could come on maybe if she wants to, or someone like her, and talk about the way they build and yeah, in general, I mean, it could be really awesome to have others on. And I think this is just I'm just starting out and getting kind of learning the ropes of streaming in general, and then I think like with anything else, I think it will kind of shape itself in a way that I will figure out what I enjoy doing and what works from the way I make videos and the way I stream, and then simply just getting to know the world of streaming, and then maybe trying to see where it takes me, because I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I'll end up doing some more survival content. That could be a thing. So the thing I'm thinking about with this way of doing videos is it's a way for you to kind of see what I think about while building, and it's also a way of kind of creating a build that can be either turned into a tutorial or people can download or something. I'm not sure. I mean, it is definitely a way of kind of getting to build more builds besides making videos and tutorials and all the stuff I'm already doing. Eli's art is a pretty neat channel with some cute builds and a smaller creator, but one who's been building for a long time. I really like the underground library build. Awesome. Strag Blue. I don't know them, I think. I might check them out. Yeah. Awesome. Hi Six Wings, your videos are awesome. They have inspired me to improve my buildings. They are still awful anyways. Yeah, Ren, that is, everyone feels at some point. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos, that at some point during a build, I almost always kind of hate the building just at some point while building, and it's actually usually when I make these kind of large volumes and I'm kind of looking at it and thinking, I mean, it hasn't taken shape yet, and I'm a bit kind of, I don't know, this kind of doubt in my mind where I don't know where things are going exactly. Yeah, I'm having doubts about the build and where to go next with it, and so I think that's normal for all builders. That's sometimes you just a little bit. It feels tedious, maybe, or you're kind of not totally happy with it. But usually, that will change once I kind of get further into the detailing of it, and then sometimes I have these. I don't know what to call it, but kind of not milestones, but there's more like pivotal moments while building where I suddenly can see some of the some of the stuff is being revealed not revealed, but I kind of discover the build while building in a way, if that makes sense. Yeah, the music. So the playlist is just running in loop, even though there are 30 songs. It feels like the playlist is just running through each time really quickly. That's fine. Sandy says, lol, we're all gonna be in the call next week. Be in a call next week, okay. 6, what have you done? Me and Sandy are becoming friends. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. I don't know who I'm sorry for, but no, I'm not sorry. You guys are both awesome, so you should be happy. So dark Minecraft. It even looks like you live in a castle. Yeah, it's quite an old building I'm living in. The window and the thick wall. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, how is everyone doing noticing the window? You called it 6. Yeah. We talked about that actually. That might actually comment on the window. Yeah, I mean, for my setup here, you can just have a look. So I have the bookshelf here. This wasn't, I mentioned this earlier, this wasn't made for anything with streaming in mind at all. I just made this like for some books for my just for my office here, and but it's a really nice way of kind of showcasing stuff. And my dream is it could be awesome to print 3D models, like small models, and have them here in like showcased with lighting. I know that I showed this earlier, but look, isn't it cute? This was the only thing I got in particular for streaming, even though up until today I wasn't actually sure if I wanted to actually show my face on screen or just go full. So I had the option to kind of remove the camera, but in a way I thought it was more fun to just have the camera on. It's a conversational piece. He's adorable. Oh, thank you, Brittany. Thank you. I'm an immortal vampire. Don't tell them. Don't reveal my secret, Dasha. Yeah, Vagabond. It's a really nice series. I haven't finished it yet. I'm on the 5th book. It's an awesome. It's some of the most kind of. I mean, the art in this book is just incredible. Some of the shots that are in this book. Let me find some of them. You could just pick anything from it, but it's such a beautiful art style. And he is. It isn't finished yet. It's actually. It's supposed. I don't know if it's planned to. If there are any plans to for how many volumes, but it is. I believe it's on a hiatus. Yeah. And he's a real perfectionist. The guy that makes it so. Yeah. Is that a little knight sitting? Yes. So this is. Oh wait. Oh, the light is actually. So I have a light here that it's actually a bonfire simulator, and there's a reason for this. But now there's no more. It's actually run dry. Or the batteries just run dry. But the reason it's bonfire is because this little guy here. This is Siegmeyer from Dark Souls. This was custom made for me many years ago. Why doesn't it focus? Hello? This is a character from Dark Souls, the first Dark Souls. And he's also in the third Dark Souls. An awesome character. And this was made for... Yeah, I think it was I can't remember, was it a guy in Norway that actually makes them by hand and paints them. It's awesome. And I have... You can't see them, but I have 2 more. So if you know Dark Souls, you know this one too. And you also know this one, his brother or his friend. His little friend. And it's at least the first time you play Dark Souls, it's a tough boss to beat. Not compared to some of the more the Elden Ring bosses. But I mean, the first time you try a Souls game and try that one, it's pretty tough. You are infinite. Those who know. Oh, really? Hello, Six Wings. Hey, Angel. Is on the throne. Well, it's actually he's sitting on a wall, I believe. Hi. By the way, I love your builds. So inspiring. What we're doing now? Okay, so Brittany, we are building. So if you've seen Crestling Castle. It's a bit like that one. So it looks a bit boring now. I've just outlined the main shapes, and I promise I will get going. I'm not a fast builder, but I'm just trying to learn how to stream and talk to you guys. So everything is going in a bit of a slow speed, but that's fine. That's fine. I want to create some sort of bridge connecting the two. So and the thing is with other builds, similar builds where I had kind of a bridges. So the Arch Tower is one, and then the Crestling Castle. Both of them were kind of easy in the way that the mountains were aligned. So here I will need to make an angled bridge, which will be maybe a cool kind of way of also detailing it in a way that kind of I mean, I might use this use the angled kind of shape of it to kind of add details that I otherwise wouldn't. Because one thing I like to do in general is to, I don't love the jaggedness of Minecraft for things that it's difficult to explain. I try to explain it in some of my videos, but what I mean is when I have jagged builds, I try to kind of highlight those things as like it's almost as if it's part of it, the way it's supposed to be designed. I'm hoping that makes sense, but it's I might talk about when we come to that what I mean by that. It's easier to show than explain in words. Don't worry, you're doing amazing. Thank you. I think you can multiply your building time by 2 if you're streaming. Yeah. We are the same. We study and work. I only dedicate 1 hour a day to the construction. Yeah. I mean, 1 hour a day, you can actually get a lot of things done in 1 hour. Okay, let's. Okay, what I want to do now is to expand some of the. I want to expand some of the volumes to kind of get this to be, because right now I just outlined. So you can see here what I've done is to kind of outline some of the shapes so it matches the terrain in some way. And what I would like to do now is to kind of highlight different sizes or heights for each of them. So let's say that we have this shape here. I might want to, so for this one, okay. Let's say I want to expand some of it and then have some of the parts being lower. So I might want to have this part here, over here, be lower than the rest. So we could do something like this and then simply do this instead. And then have this building here be shorter, or yeah, shorter basically. So I'm just doing this, and then we can let's see, extrude. So we're using, so this is the extrude tool that if you know Axiom, you probably know it, but I'm basically just right and left clicking. The left clicking will move it down, and right clicking will move it up, will add blocks. So if I do like this, the entire wall will disappear, or it will be made thicker by doing so, like so. And then so this is a good way to kind of expand parts of it. There are easier ways of doing it, but I'm just showing you some of the tools that are there. And then I might want to, let's say I want to have this part here. Let's just finish this part over here. I'm actually not sure where this will connect. Let's see. Okay, this will just connect here. So maybe we can expand this part here independently. And then maybe we can expand this part here independently. And again, all of this, I'm not sure if I might change a lot of this later. I'm just trying to kind of get a broad idea of the volumes that are in place, that needs to be in place, before I start to detail the building. So this could be one volume here, and another one for this part here. Let's see. Okay, let's move this one first. Okay, this is a bit in the way, this one here. You should learn world. Yeah, I should learn world edit. Yes, Brittany. Yeah, world edit is great too. I mean, I use both world edit and Axiom depending on what I'm doing. So everything when it comes to texturing, I like to use world edit. I think world edit it works better for me for that when I need to kind of change the blocks to something else, stuff like that. I like some of the way it works compared to. I know Axiom has a lot more options, and it is a more efficient tool in a lot of ways. But yeah, I like parts of. Yeah, depending on what I'm doing, I like to use both. You're doing great. Your builds and videos are truly inspirational and stunning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, I probably missed a lot of questions, but that's how it is. He has a video. Yeah, Strong says I have a video about upgrading vanilla villages, if that's what you're after. I think the one I have is very basic, but I think it's a good starting point to just level up like villages just a bit. It's not. It's really how would you put it? It's a really simple way of adding just a bit of flavor to what's already there. And yeah, I think I enjoy using stuff from that's already there. I really do. I think it's really nice to the same way I'm doing it with the terrain here. I enjoy kind of having something to kind of lean on, if that makes sense. I mean, some things that will shape the way you build. So just by having a mountain here, a lot of stuff has just been decided for me, and that's actually a thing you learn when studying to become an architect. Is that it's sometimes much easier to design a house if you have a lot to design on, because you then have a lot of things that will kind of shape the way the building is, the way you approach the building. There's all sorts of ways that like a set terrain can kind of instead of just building something out of scratch, it can sometimes be easy to just have something to something that can basically shape the building. And I've talked about that in my mountain. It's a mountain. How I built mountain castle, I believe it's called. I talk a lot about how I approached it. This is actually part of what I'm doing here. Is I'll talk about it in that video. Okay. I know this. I'm building a bit slowly, but I think that's fine. Okay. Now we have kind of the major shapes kind of in place. We can use the stacking tool, it's called. So the stacking tool, that's a really neat tool that can... so actually, I will probably remove this here. So, okay, another thing that's really great about Axiom is that you can just highlight whatever you want, like so, and then simply press delete, and then it's a much easier way of deleting stuff than with World Edit, because you can just delete it like you would just by pressing delete, and then you can, and even better, you can just click Control C or Control Z, depending on where you're from, and then just undo. So it's a really nice way of kind of removing stuff, editing stuff. So for that, it's really, really useful. Once I made some of his constructions on a server, everyone loved them except the admin. I think he was jealous. I mean, you don't have to love everything I'm making. Some people, they like a different style of building, and that's fine. I mean, there are definitely different flavors that you may or may not like. And that's totally fine. Okay, the stacking tool. I wanted to talk about the stacking tool. It's a bit like the expander tool, but instead you can just scroll and add layer by layer. So it's much easier for kind of expanding large structures. And you can even do this for multiple blocks. So if you do it, let's say you do it for 4 blocks, then it kind of copies two at like this whole structure at a time. So just by scrolling like so, you have this massive structure here. So I don't use this for my timeless videos. I do that manually, but for just for sketching, it's a really nice tool just to have if you want to expand volumes and just get things done quickly. You can do this so quickly, and it's also nice for kind of bridges and things that needs to be kind of how would you put it, things that needs to be like repeated. So let's say you want like an archway. I'm just making a simple one here. This is just to show you. let's say you wanted to kind of repeat this one here. I know this is not something I would build normally. This is just to show you. I would simply highlight this part here and then copy it like so. So this is just for sketching and getting to kind of play with a design. You can easily see how something will look when it's kind of copied. So it wasn't long ago I started using this tool. It was sometime last year when I made the first cathedral build. I tried to use Axiom for some of it, but it's really it is really useful for sketching and coming up with ideas. My feed keeps buffering, so I'll have to duck out. I'm so sorry. That happens sometimes. Thanks for being here, and I hope you'll be back another time, or maybe later. Greetings from Holland. I don't know much I can't speak Dutch myself, but I did grow up with a Dutch family, and the one phrase I heard over and over again when growing up was, and you know this phrase, but it's when the parents were yelling when we were playing outside, yelling "Binnenkomen eten," which means "Come home, it's dinner time." Yeah, that's the only thing I know in Dutch. Okay. Okay. What are we doing now? Let's. But the thing is, I need to figure out how much I want to expand this. So I don't think this needs to be a really tall build. I think if you look at it from this angle here, I usually zoom out and find the angle I kind of. So I think in thumbnails and in kind of framing in terms of how I want the build to be kind of seen. Of course, it should be watchable and look good from all angles, but I usually have like one kind of main focal point. I also talked about that in one of my videos, that I like to kind of maybe you can say I think in thumbnails. So I think, okay, what thumbnail would I want for this one? I would want something like this, right? I would have so with the shaders it would look like this. Yeah, it just needs to be turned on, but with shaders it would look like this. And then this could be a thumbnail, for instance, right? And then usually I sketch. Actually, I take a screenshot like this and make a sketch where I kind of sketch out kind of the rough shapes. And the cool thing about that is that I get a kind of a feel of what the build could end up looking like, but it's not set in stone. The detailing of it can be changed whenever I want to, and I could add. I could change. Some of the colors or the general style of it. There are so many possibilities, but as long as I know the rough shapes of it, I have a kind of a plan that isn't too narrow, basically. And I love doing that, because then I can. It's this mix of discovering the build and kind of figuring out how to design it, but also having a frame or a sort of something that controls the main kind of shapes of it, you could say. So for this one, I would probably I have to control the flying speed way too quickly. For this one, I would probably actually go and start to taper this inwards to make it more narrow. I would probably want to have this be kind of a tower of sorts that will be narrow at the top. So I might just do a quick kind of just a rough. Just trying to figure out how to shape it, and maybe this will change later. This is nothing is set here. I'm just trying out and see how. One of the things that we all have to kind of do when building, and I think this goes for small builds, large builds, for all kinds of builds. And this is kind of how much does things, how much room does it take to make a tower? I mean, how much room? That's not exactly what I mean. What I mean is, if I made this tower here, how big should it be for what level of detail I'm making? So I might actually go in and try out a couple of detail elements here and see, okay, this needs to be wider or shorter or have a different shape. I might do that during the build before finishing it. So maybe just trying out one section to carve this out, maybe making a vault or arch or something. I don't know, detailing a small part of it. But it's all this back and forth where you need to kind of figure out the size of things and get a feel of the scale of it. Because I have built so many builds where I start out and it's not until I really start to detail that I figure out, okay, this is how much things kind of the elements kind of take up of space, basically. Do you ever play survival, Brittany? I have a survival series, actually. I have 3 episodes on YouTube about my survival world, but it's over 3 years ago, and I actually haven't really played survival since. So I need to. I've said this for a long time. I really want to go back and finish that build I made like 3.5 years ago. I mean, it's insane how fast the time flies. So I would love to do that. I would love to do more content, but like with so much else, there's so many ideas and plans I have for the future for both builds, videos, new kinds of videos, and so it's all a zero-sum game, and all my videos take so much time to make. So it's just, it's all about kind of managing the time and trying to get as much done as possible. But even doing this like almost on full time, it's still not enough time. I could use twice the amount of time and get more done I'm just one person, and that's just how it is, you know. It's but I do want to make more survival stuff. Let's see. Do you prefer building out with details or embedding them, if that makes sense? So what I tried to explain earlier badly was that for me, it's a back and forth thing. Sometimes I might even, well, it depends on the build. So I explained this in multiple videos. I've explained this, but I have 2 main types of thought processes while building. The first one is from detail to scale, and the other one is from scale to detail. So this one is the latter part, the latter version. So I start by kind of the scale of it is the initial thing, and so I start with the scale of it, and then I detail. So the detail of this build will solely depend on what I'm able to do with the sections that are here. So so the scale of this tower here, for instance, is decided. So I will kind of decide everything when it comes to detail after the scale of it, basically. So I'm thinking out from outside inwards, if that makes sense. And then I have the other way of doing it, and this is for builds that I would call solitary builds. So this is the sanctum, basically, stuff like that, builds like that, the sanctum and the first cathedral. And for that video in particular, I showed kind of, you can actually see what I'm doing. And what I do is I find kind of the key element, I call it, or the anchor, you can call it. It's the most important detail of the build where you. So for me, for that build was the one section of the Gothic, what is it called in English? It's basically one section of the nave and the flying buttresses. That the combination of all of the details regarding that part, because when you build that, this will be copied out, basically repeated on both sides for the entire building. And this will decide the scale of everything else. So for that type of build, I will start by making a detail I'm happy with, and then expand from there. So it's kind of the opposite of what I'm doing here. So those are the 2 main kind of thought processes that I have. And the reason why I do this for the other build is because it's designed in a way that it's not dependent on any particular like terrain or anything. I can just place it anywhere, basically. And again, I'm just trying to do so. What I want to do here is to create these towers, connect them with some sort of bridge, and then connect this one over here with that building. So I might actually do a straight bridge all the way over there, and an angle bridge here. So just to show you a thing you can do, and this is actually, so I showed Myth this the other day, and she, we were both kind of, we found this pretty cool, and it's a kind of a tool I haven't used in Axiom before, but it's a smear tool. Some of you probably know this, but it's the thing this can do is to expand it, but it can expand it in all dimensions. So you can do like so. You can expand it in any kind of dimension that you want to, any kind of direction you want to. So this is good for kind of figuring out. So in survival, I would probably kind of get a feeling, maybe build from between these two mountains, because this is also angled. You can see here. Just a second. I'll go back to the other one in a minute. But here you can see this is angled here. It's not a straight bridge I will build from between these two. So here I would in survival or in a normal playthrough without any additional tools. It could be in creative too. I would simply I would simply try and add a bridge. Let's say it will start here. I will maybe, let's say, add 3 like so 3 blocks, and then angle it this way, and then kind of see, okay, will this seems like it would match like almost right. Then I might even do it like halfway through just to see if it matches. But that's, I would want kind of to figure out the angle of it, basically, and this is basically what this smear tool can help you with. You can basically just take one block here and then just left and right click and then do something like this. And this is really helpful, right? So here I have my circ. I have some. What would you call it? I really like when things add up in a way that's neat. So I don't like that. So what it's doing here, you have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 3. I really don't like that. I would want this to be the same all the way across. Some people, if Grian was building this, he wouldn't care. He would just build it. He doesn't care about stuff like that. I believe he doesn't. I'm a bit rigid in the way I think about it. So I would try and find so this one is it 2 here? It might be 2, yes. So I would probably use this one and then have simply find the closest one I can find and then make it match the kind of the. Let's see if I can. Oh wait. Yeah, I mean I could do this manually. Right now I'm just copying it. And as I told you earlier, I tend to, depending on what video I'm making, I might not use Axiom or World Edit like really, or maybe just a tiny bit. I mean, I usually want I say usually because it's not a hard line. I try to most of the time make time-lapse videos manually. So I place every block manually, and then I think it's more enjoyable to watch it that way. It seems like the building is taking shape in a way that is more organic and more kind of exciting to kind of to watch in general. And it is really, really tedious. I know it's it's really tedious. But I think it's I don't know. I just really enjoy building like that for those kind of videos. I think in the end it's worth it. Well, mostly worth it. I mean, it is really time consuming. So I told you earlier, the Utgard, the first video, the time-lapse video, it took 2 months to make the build and video. And I'm talking full-time, like a full-time job. So 9 to 5 each day for 5 days a week-ish for 2 months. So 1 month was just dedicated to the time lapse. So building, it was built during the time lapse. So that part, and the second month was for the cinematic at the end, which was really time consuming to make. So yeah, I mean, is it worth it? I don't know. It is really time consuming. It is so. So let's see here. I would probably, so this is again a small thing, but the way my mind works, even though I try to kind of break free from the more rigid way of building, I always have these kind of things where I need things to be a bit clean and neat. So I would try and have this centered instead of being, so there's one block over here. I would want that over here too. So I know it's it doesn't matter in the end, but yeah, we all have our faults. And then it doesn't match over here. So you can see it's either way, it won't match exactly. So, well, we might change that later. Will this build be in like Medica? Are you asking? Yeah, I mean, I will, like my usually I build with I make schematics out of my builds. Someone asked if I'm a god of, if I'm good at using Axiom. I'm really not. I mean, I just discovered Axiom last year, and like I told Myth the other day, I use for 95% of what I'm using the mod for is just some of these copying things and deleting stuff. So deleting, just being able to highlight a certain area and just click delete, just that function alone is really useful. So most of the time I don't use this is the editor where you can do all sorts of crazy things. I never use this really. It's not a thing I enjoy the experience of building in Minecraft like you normally would, where everything is kind of more slow and it feels like I'm building in normal creative mode, which I am. It's just creative mode with a bit of added functionality, basically, yeah. And then here I would probably just connect this. Let's see if we connect this over here. We're just having a look here to see how it looks. So if we look at it from this angle here, so these will be curved in some way. I might even move this down a bit. I actually like that there's a bigger difference between these two bridges. So I might actually, this is why it's good to kind of zoom out a bit and have a look at the kind of the entirety of your build. Just have a focal point where you think, okay, this is a place where your build looks good from. Maybe even change. So all my videos, I know I'm jumping a bit back and forth between what I'm talking about, but just a lot of my videos I actually make or record in about 50 FOV because it's much more. If you're the photographers out there probably know what I'm talking about, but it's more flattering if even though it's, some really like to have this really wide kind of field of view. It's not really flattering when it comes to looking at your build. So I always use for videos and for screenshots, I always go like 50 or around that number. But for playing, I usually have like 80. Let's see. Toby, my most recent build in Minecraft is steam train. Oh, that's awesome. I'll post a picture on the Discord. Yes, do that. That's awesome. What mods can you do? What mods do you use when building? So I, again, it depends on the build, because if I build in for a time lapse, I usually do it manually. I might do a bit of texturing with World Edit, which is one of the blocks, one of the mods I'm using. World Edit is even though Axiom, which is this one here, even though it's much more advanced than World Edit, I think World Edit it's better at. I'm more comfortable with using World Edit for some things like texturing or I don't know, texturing in general. I think that's more useful for me. It's easier for me to use. It's more, I mean, the way I think it works better for me. But Axiom and World Edit are the two main tools, and of course, like Manica. Do you like the shelf block we just got recently? I think it's cool. You know what? I have never used it, because up until today, I've only been on Minecraft 1.21.7, which was it one update before the shelf block was added? I think about that, around the one update before that. So I've never even tried to use it before, but I think I've seen a lot of builds using it, and I think it has a lot of potential. It really does. So yeah, what I was saying was, I usually try to find a place where the build looks great from, and for me, this is this focal point here, somewhere here, and then I try to kind of always return to this point, see the process, and then go back and kind of change things if it needs to be changed a bit. So here I would move this down. So I would just let's see. I would probably do something like this, and maybe let's just do this first, and then I'll just move the rest in a bit. It might be something like this, maybe even lower. Maybe even lower than this. Yeah, and all of the detail you're seeing here, this is detail. I mean, the volumes you're seeing, there's not much detail. This is just to get all of the main parts kind of in place before I start detailing. So this is this doesn't have to be precise or anything. It's just to get an idea of the main shapes. So I think, okay, so one thing for this build here, one thing I think is important for this particular build is to figure out where the bridge will be, because this will be the kind of the width of the bridge compared to the height of how tall it is. I think this is quite important when it comes to kind of the feel of it. Is it a really tall one, or is it a shorter one? I mean, so I would probably, from here, I would probably figure out where to kind of add the bridge. So let's say that we want to use this main building here. Let's take this one here and expand this one upwards. Just maybe we even make it taller than we want, just to try and see, because we can always make it shorter again. This is just to see, okay, does it make sense to make this part taller? And then I will go over here, and let's say we're using this part here, this square here. And let's say that, okay, let's say we're using this part here. Need to hydrate. I really hope there will be an add-on like Axiom on Bedrock. Yeah, I'm not sure how. I'm really not sure how it works with with Bedrock. I've never played Bedrock, so I don't know how it works with with add-ons. If there are even I have no idea, but yeah, it could be cool, definitely. Do you usually have a plan going into texturing? Hydro says. Sometimes. I mean, right now I'm just using this block here. I mean, I just use this as a kind of a starting point, and then I'll see. So what I want to do with this build, I think the one thing I want to do is to have the mountain be kind of blend into the building, and then this might. So I might actually go from like a stone brick block over to something with more color. It could be mud bricks, and from mud bricks to something reddish. It could go in that direction, so it will kind of fade into a red, perhaps, or something else. I'm not sure yet. I need to figure that out. But it depends. I mean, for texturing, this is also a thing that kind of changes depending on the build. I might even, for one build, I might not even think about texturing. Like the Sanctum is a build, and also the Firth Cathedral. Those are builds that I don't think about texturing at all, really. This is something I add as kind of a thing at the end that kind of adds a bit of life to the build, and I don't usually. For that kind of build, I would usually just do the build first, and then take a look and see how much texturing it really needs, because those builds are really detailed and have a lot of variation in just the way I made the pillars and stuff. So I don't think those builds like these need a whole lot of texturing. So I mean, so it depends on the build, basically. Yeah. I always have to go to the menu for what wait. How did you do the quick speed change? Okay. For the quick speed change, so up until now I played on 21.7, and for that version of Minecraft I use a mod called Creative Fly. That one hasn't been updated since that version. And the good thing about Creative Fly is that you can bind a key to having it on or off, which means that I can have a mouse like a secondary mouse button to that, so I can quickly jump from fast to normal speed. But this mod isn't updated to this version. So I'm using Axiom has a feature here. I think it's in the controls here, keybinds, and then you go down to, let's see, you need to go down to yes, Axiom toggle flight speed adjustment. So I have it to J. This is just a random button, and this is I have it to a secondary mouse button. So I click and hold the mouse button or J, and then you just scroll back and forth. I think it's okay. It's not as good as the other mod. I find it much easier to just click one time instead of having to scroll back and forth, because I usually only need two different, like a normal speed and high speed. That's all I need. So, but I mean, this works. This works fine. But yeah, so if we're taking a look here, I think so. The bridge could be somewhere around here. It could be maybe somewhere around here, a bit lower, but maybe somewhere. And then I would basically just find. I mean, okay, now I simply have to scroll all the way back to get normal speed. But yeah, but let's see. Let's try this one here and see this. Try the smear one and see if we can kind of reach this one, because. Let's add more. This might be quicker. Let's add 4 blocks and see. So how would we do this? Okay, so now it will. Okay, I think it's easier with 1 block. Finally adding a face to the voice. Keep up the amazing work, brother. I'm deep on good character control. Awesome. Awesome soul. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you could either show your face or not. I mean, it's I thought it. I actually, so I explained this to Sandy. I talked to her about it. I think, in a way, it's more calming for me to actually that you can see me, that we can sit here and talk, and I might. Okay, I have been talking a lot, but sometimes I might not be talking that much. But you can see my reaction to some of the things I'm reading. I think there's more of an interaction, and I don't feel the need to talk all the time, or I think there's some kind of connection that works really well when it comes to having the camera on. And yeah, I don't know, it's of course some of the mystery gets removed, but I don't know. I think it's fine. It's fun to try. So I hope you find it fun too. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So what I talked to you about earlier was I am very. I really like to have things kind of neat, and so here I would avoid having. So right now you can actually see here the hologram here. So you have 3 blocks here, but you have 4 blocks here. I really don't like that. I want this to be one length basically. So I would even expand this tower here just for that reason alone. And you don't have to do this. This is just me, because doing this will make it more. This would make it more like easier to kind of detail, because then I have, let's say it's 3 blocks each of these sections, and it just continues with 3. Then I know, okay, I can use 3 blocks here, create an arch or something, a detail, and just copy it. And I mean, other people would just build this in whatever the smear tool will give them. But yeah, I would prefer just having it neat. And I agree, Facecam was a good choice. That's awesome, Sandy. I'm glad you like that. Okay, let's try something a little bit different. Let's say that we try 3 here and just copy this one. Okay, let's try this one, and then I will try 4 underneath just to see the difference. And it might be we might be I can't speak. It might be easier to kind of decide which one of the 2 we like. So because it's either one of those 2, the angle will demand. So 2 would be too straight, and 5 would be too much of an angle. So yeah, I would simply find kind of a I would simply find the one that matches the best. I think I'm leaning towards 4 actually, just as I can see it here. But let's just have a look and see. And I don't know. In a lot of ways, this is probably not the most exciting part of building. But I mean, I think also a lot of things will be decided in these kind of initial parts where everything will kind of scale will be decided. So even though this is really rough, what I'm doing here, it's also really important, because I mean, the choices I make here will be it will be really important when it comes to how everything is kind of proportioned. So I mean, I could use 3. Let's try 4, and just to see if it's how different it is. So this would be 4 here. I need something to drink. Super chat, yay! I just finished the Emberheart Castle. Love you too. That's awesome. I hope you like it. Which color scheme did you use? The white one, the original, or did you use something else? The original, yes. I mean, the original is. I mean, it was made that way, but I mean, so people back when, I can't remember which video it was, but people kept asking about, can I use this color or that color? And my usual answer is, you can actually do so many things. You don't have to stick to. So usually it's just a choice. You simply choose the main material you want to use and just go for it. I think, of course, there are colors that match better with each other, and I saw this video. I can't remember the creator, but it was a video about value contrast as an important part of Minecraft. I think I actually made a kind of a slight objection in the comments. I think the creator wasn't wrong or anything. It was just, I think, color or value contrast is basically what it means. Is it's basically to make sure that if you turn on grayscale, imagine everything in grayscale. Imagine then the kind of the how would you put it, the whole kind of a point of the video was to kind of tell that it's more important to have contrast in value than it is contrast in anything else. The colors themselves doesn't matter as much as long as you have kind of like bright darker mixed with kind of create contrast that way, darker and brighter block types basically. And I think to a large extent it is true, and it does add a lot of interest. Actually we have enough. I don't need more. I just think that you can also create contrast in other ways. So color contrast is also a thing. So if you've seen the Golden Palace I made, the last new build I made, it is made up of mostly like stone bricks and then oak and yellow terracotta on the roof. And if you take that picture, the kind of the thumbnail, and turn off the color to grayscale, there's actually very little contrast in value. It actually, everything kind of is one kind of level of brightness. And I think the reason why I think the reason it works is because of the saturation contrast. So you have there's no color in the gray, but there's lots of color in the terracotta, in the yellow color. So I think that can work too. So I think, yeah, there are different ways of doing it, but it's definitely value contrast. It is a thing that it's a good rule of thumb, I would say. So Safarius says, first of all, big fan of your work. Are there any tips, advice you can give for getting the right dimensions? I find the hardest part personally. I'm kind of building in a futuristic style though. I think scale and kind of the largeness of a build is very difficult to get right. And I think it depends on what build I'm making. So for this type of build, I think it's actually easier in a way, because for this build, in a lot of ways, the mountain itself will decide the scale of the build. So I start with that. I have let's have a look here. So I have these mountains here, and then I have I basically know the footprint of the build, because I kind of outline everything I'm building here is kind of related to the terrain. So you can see here all these kind of naturally forming parts here. I just use those as a reference. So for this kind of build, the only thing I really need is to kind of figure out the style of it, the detailing, of course, and maybe the height of things. But other than that, the scale is actually really kind of determined by the terrain. And the other way I'm building is when I'm building something for, let's say the sanctum I mentioned earlier. The way I designed that was kind of the opposite direction. I started with a key element, like for that build it was one of the main pillars. I designed that, kind of figured out, I made a pillar that I liked, and then from there I basically scaled everything accordingly. So I made a copy on the other side, and kind of okay, I need these proportions for the gate. So the detailing of that part was basically the deciding factor for everything else. I would say the danger with doing that is, of course, that if you start out with a too large of a detail, then everything will just scale up in a way that might even exceed height limit. And this is, of course, something you need to kind of take into account. And depending on how you build, if you build in survival, of course, it's more difficult. I would probably do some quick kind of just measurements, just to see, okay, maybe do a mock-up in creative just before you build. Just create just a basic pillar like the ones I'm making here, and maybe make a rough shape for a dome or whatever kind of style. You're saying a futuristic style, so it might be something else, but just try and build something that you kind of understand the size of it. And depending on if you're building, let's say you're building in a vanilla world, in a seat like this, you of course only have like to the height limit, so you would kind of have to take that into account. So there is, of course, a back and forth, and you might need to kind of change some stuff. But I mean, I hope that answers the question. The calmness in your voice is too soothing that it gives me comfort. Oh, thank you, Hydro. That is awesome. I mean, I suppose that it kind of matches my style of making videos too, that I like to make these kind of more soothing kind of videos. Of course, some of my cinematics can be action-packed, but it is a bit more of a slower-paced kind of style I have, and I think that is probably reflected in the way that I speak. Perhaps it's 2 a.m. for me. Oh, I hope you can get some sleep. How long does it normally take you to find the seed you want? Actually, just by starting up a new Minecraft seed, you can, just by flying around, especially if you have a mod like this where you can fly faster, it's so easy to just find stuff. So this part over here, you can see over here, this might be a good place. And I really like these kind of more extreme places that just beg for something to be built. I usually don't take sometimes, of course, I need to kind of so okay, if I usually don't kind of search for a place like until I find it. I usually, what I mean is, I start a new seed and then I fly around in the vicinity of where I start. If I don't find anything, I will probably start a new seed. I don't want to build a build that's so far away from zero coordinates. I like to find something fairly close. So I usually kind of, maybe I would start up multiple seeds just to see. But I mean, for the Utgard, the seed I found for the 2 new locations, actually the ice location with the ice spikes for the expanded version but simplified version, that one was the first. It was just the first one I just found, and then here's an ice world, and I think it worked great just for that. But I mean, the way I built that particular version of the build was in a lot of ways really flexible. So I just needed an ice location, and it matches with the way the ice spikes kind of is circling the build. It actually matches quite well. So sometimes you're just lucky. Yes, it is my first stream. Technically not my first stream, but my first stream on this channel. So Sandy Sparkles, who is a mod, she's a streamer and YouTuber too, and she has. I've been on her stream a couple of times. We have played hardcore, and I sucked. But she has helped me with kind of setting everything up with and kind of showing me the ropes with how things work with streaming. So she's awesome. So check her out. She does mostly create mod stuff, but also kind of vanilla stuff. But if that's something you're into, then you should check her out. And she's also the voice of the video I made. So I have the Trials of Utgard, which is technically the last part of the Utgard time lapse, and that kind of cinematic, or that short film. It's basically a short film. I had her narrate the kind of one of the voiceover, kind of Galadriel style, Lord of the Rings, and so her accent is she's from South Africa. That's not a yeah. If you've seen her channel, you can probably hear it. But she has a really unique accent, and it worked really well for what I want. I wanted something that wasn't easily discernible. But yeah, so I think that brought a certain level of mysticism, or kind of a mysteriousness to the video. So definitely check that out too. Okay. So what I just did here was to kind of figure out the angle of the bridge, and I think when I'm looking at this, I would actually rather have the one that's the least angled. So I will remove this one here and use the bottom one. And that is how easy it is to remove things in Axiom. So okay, so let's copy this one. So now this is let's see, this is 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just make it, you know what, let's make it let's use the entire thing here, so we have a large like a wide bridge. I think that's cool. And use this as kind of the measurements of this one here, right? Okay. Thanks for the detailing answer. Smart to adapt to terrain. Right, I play on a modded skyblock world, so that will be a bit hard, but I will try to detail one bit and work from there. Yeah. So Farias, I mean, the thing I usually talk about when I'm making tutorials and guide videos, I try to just always tell people that this is how I do it. This is one approach. I don't like to give it kind of a one answer that because there's so many ways of doing stuff that if you ask another builder, they will say something else. So what I say, I kind of try to show what I know and how I like to do things, and then I always stress that people should kind of take what they should take what they can from what I'm doing and simply use what they can from my builds and videos, and you shouldn't just force yourself to build like I do. I think if it works for you, you should do it, but it's basically a thing that, I mean, like with so much else, it's a thing that it should fit kind of the way you think about building. Is there any build type you struggle with? Definitely. I mean, I would say organic builds in general, I have built like a large tree, for instance. I have built trees before. Trees, it's not that I struggle with it. It's just not my forte, what you would say. Or especially like sculptures and stuff like that. And it's the same. I think it's. I also, when I draw, I really like drawing and painting, but I'm okay at it. I'm not particularly good at it. I mean, I like drawing architecture. I'm not a kind of good at drawing people, stuff like that. And I think with stuff like statues and organic stuff like that, I think you need that, at least the sculpturing aspect of it. I think, I mean, I don't know. So maybe it's just because I haven't tried it that much. So it might be something I'm actually better at than I know, but it's just not my comfort zone. Let's put it like that. What advice would I give on texturing? Yeah, I mean, again, that's also a thing I'm okay at it. I think it depends on what you are doing. I don't think I don't want. So for most of my build, I don't want to rely too much on texturing. So you could texture much more than I'm doing. But I mean, so one example is Utgard, the build I made for my current tutorial. That build relies heavily upon texturing because it's so simple. So let's say that I wanted this build to be really simple in like the wall structures. They maybe it would be just like this. Then I would advise you to texture a lot more. But I mean, it's a large subject in general, and I can't give you one answer. But it depends on for what and for how large an area. I think, so one thing that people usually say is that don't use solely like a noise layer. So what I'll give you an example. So this is what I usually did, like I used to do more of. This was to use something like world edit, where I put on two positions. So for each corner, I will do something like this. And then I would simply decide upon a texturing kind of mix of blocks. So I would say replace stone bricks with, let's say, 50% stone bricks, 25% or 30% stone. And 20% cobblestone. This is just an example. It's just to show you. And then, so this is what happens. And I mean, you could do this, but the problem with this is just a noise texture. And I think what I usually do is I will add stuff like this at the end, but I would think about texturing in two categories. Like noise texturing like this, and more about and then large texturing, large kind of choices. And this could be for this build. I talked about this earlier in the video in the stream. I would go for a gradient where I want the mountain to kind of fade into a color. So I talked about the color red earlier. So it could be go from a grayish color to a warmer mud brick color or something like that, and then over to a red one or something in between. So I would kind of figure out the main kind of parts of it and then try to kind of mix it together. I mean, again, it depends on the build, and I think so. For this part here, I have for Utgard, I have a video that is that only focuses on texturing. So you should maybe watch that one, but I mean, in general, it really depends on a lot of things, and I know there are people that are much better at doing that. I think some people really specialize in in texturing and kind of adding it in a way that is more purposeful. I'm a bit. It's not my main focus usually. I try to get better at it, but I'm not. Yeah, it's not my main kind of. Okay, so here you can see there's one issue here, and the issue is that this will not match here. So I would probably. So there are multiple things I can do here. I can either just have it like it is here. I can make the bridge like narrow if I wanted this to kind of stop here instead. I could also use this part here to kind of extrude this part and have a larger connection point here with this. So I could expand this, for instance, expand this part to kind of go to this block over here and add a bit more kind of volume like that. Or I could go back and move it to move the entire bridge. That's also a possibility. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do exactly, but I mean, yeah, these are kind of the issues you kind of you will eventually run into, and kind of you have to make some decisions. What is most important to you? Is the bridge size important? Then you need to expand some of the other stuff, or maybe you just have this continue over here. I would like it like a firm kind of like an anchor for this one to kind of be connect to. But yeah, this is just me. So Sandy, you're asking, will you show your build world, or is it that's secret your build world? Do you mean the world where I my test world? I might do that, perhaps. Yeah. I could do that. I could do that because I mean, so I thought that 2 hours was a good kind of amount of time to stream, but it's 10:30 already, which is insane. So I've streamed for longer than I thought. Yeah, we're going on 3 hours now. Yes, exactly. We have to see that. Okay, you know what, guys? I think this is fine for now. I think I'm not sure how to proceed exactly, so I think we will stop here with this build, and I think this is fine for just this is good for just kind of a first attempt to kind of getting some shape out of this. I think this part over here, so you can see this mountain, and this building here will be much taller. I think I need at least half of this or even more to be as tall as this one here. I'm not sure yet, but I think that's it might be something like that. And then yeah, I'm not sure if I want to kind of build this off screen, or just I might actually just continue from here next time, and then and yeah, hopefully finish it at some point. Yeah. Yeah, you told me it was easy to stream for 3 hours. I mean, time flies quickly, and yeah. I did really good for my first stream. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. That means a lot. Oh, thank you, Crow's Dark Maven. Thank you so much. Okay, let's stop here. Cancel recording. Oh, I will see. Let's say finish recording, save, and then keep doing amazing work. Your builds are my favorite. Oh, thank you. I will definitely do that. So before I close up, I will show you my test world. This is, so here are you can see all my saves. So all these mountain castles, those are just seeds I found that I like. My test world, where is that? This one here. I'll just update it. I know what I'm doing. Okay. You know what? Let's put on some shaders. And put on some speed. Flight speed. Okay, let's go over to... So this is just a mix of all sorts of different things. So you can probably see some of the earlier versions of some of my builds. So let's take a look at. So this is basically the first color kind of palette I wanted to do for the Dragon Palace. I made this before the actual tutorial or the time lapse, and I thought that. So I made this build because I wanted to use the new mangrove block at the time. This was when mangrove was first a thing, and I actually thought it was darker than I initially thought. It was actually quite dark. So I think this kind of palette here, I think it's cool, but it's a bit more kind of futuristic. I think it's too dark for what I wanted to build. So I ended up with this color scheme here instead. And I added the warp blocks just as highlights, just to add a bit of interest. But yeah, and you can see here, these are the sections I started with. And actually for this time lapse, I used World Edit to kind of copy things. And the way I thought about it was, I wanted to create a build that was built off of this one section that I can just copy and kind of show so in the time lapse, it's also a way of showing how everything is put together. So it's a nice way of kind of breaking the build down in a way, yeah. But this is basically how some of the first designs for this build was made, and the same with the Birch Blossom Castle, all the other ones, also the shrine, the windmill, the different kinds of wings or blades. I had all sorts of ideas, and what do we have here? The plan for the windmill. This was. I think this was some of the earlier builds in this test world, and I just tried out different kind of versions of the different builds. Anything really. This is just a test world for anything that I want to try out. This must have been for a section for. I think this was actually. I think so. This was a section from the Autumn Castle that I then changed, and then that became the Japanese shrine I made. So sometimes I use one build and then change it to something else. And this version here, this is actually a build I never released. It became Birch Blossom Castle, but it's kind of a variation of that. And this became Shinju Castle, which then became, these are the different iterations of it, basically. Some designs I haven't used. This is a kind of a Danish Renaissance design you see in Denmark. I never used this for a build, but this could be fun to kind of expand upon. I don't know why I've never really built something that's particularly Danish, other than maybe Freya's Hall, which is, well, it is Danish in a way, but it's so much bigger than anything you will see in Denmark. So it's much more of a fantasy style build. But this could be like a real build from Copenhagen, for instance. But yeah, maybe for another build. And here, actually, this is a good way of showing you how the Sanctum came to be, because what you see here, this version, so for this build, I actually didn't make everything before I started making the time lapse. I made this part here, so these towers and the arch and then I settled on a size of the dome and made this part here, and the rest was actually made up on the spot while making the tutorial, more or less. So I just kept going, and just it became this one in the end, right? So that's something I do sometimes. Then I simply I build enough so I have confidence in the design, and then I just go from there, because then I have the design language in place, more or less, and then I can just expand upon that. So that's one way of doing it. This is a small sanctum, never released in any video really, but I wanted to create a smaller version, just to. I think someone mentioned it, that they would like to see a smaller version, and it actually turned out quite well. It's actually not that, it's a bit more slender in its kind of proportions, perhaps, but it can definitely work as a kind of a smaller scale. I say smaller scale, I mean relatively. But yeah, I mean the echelon. These are some earlier iterations of that one. I started with a more of a bland design, or a kind of a color palette, and then I changed it to this one was a final one. Yeah. Here's a design I never released either. I wanted to create something that was kind of angled, but in a repeatable way, where I didn't. I wanted to create something that was a bit more rules based. I don't know. I think this could work for something. It's a bit bland with the color scheme, but I mean it could definitely work for as some sort of build. And Freya's Hall. Different versions of it. For that one, I also started building this here, and then at some point I moved it over to the seat it's built upon, and then I added everything else so it matches the seat. And the first cathedral. So this is what I was saying earlier, was that for a build like this, what I did was I started by designing one section here, and kind of I wanted to get the details right on just one section. For the buttresses, the flying buttresses, and the windows, and then I simply just copied it. So the design of this part here, basically just set the kind of the scale of everything else, if that makes sense. The spider, what did I call it? The spider skull, I named it. This was just for a bit of a gimmicky build. Not one of my best, but I think it was a fun one to make for the video I made. I made it for the Halloween video. But yeah, I mean, not all my builds are here. I have separate kind of things, like worlds that I start builds in, but here, yeah, like this, I tested different kinds of way of making towers, and so and this ended up being scaled down to the monastery tower you know from the video, from the channel. So some of these I wasn't as happy with, but sometimes it's nice just to try something and see if it works, and maybe it doesn't work, and maybe it can be used for something else at a later point. But maybe trying some, you can try. Yeah, it's nice to have something, a world where you just build, and it doesn't have to be anything that. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be a finished build. And Utgard. That's what I mentioned earlier. This is one of those builds that really shines when it's textured, and so it's actually really simple if you just see it like this. Whereas the textured version is much more interesting. A lot more is happening here, and with the gradient and the cracks and everything. So for some builds really need that layer of texturing, while other builds can be. I mean, some other builds doesn't need as much as that one. Yeah, I mean, this is just my test world. What do I have here? This is I actually built this was actually where I designed the arch tower. So you can see some of the first ideas and shapes were made here, and then just expanded upon. And the sanctum, these are the towers I made. So some of the towers, actually, yeah, I can't even see which one is the final one, but just different versions of different towers, and yeah, that's basically, I mean, this is basically what I have for you today. But yeah, it was a really awesome stream, and I must admit, I mean, any streamer, the first time you do it, it is something. I imagine it's something special where you're nervous, but I mean, when you just then start to build and talk, then it becomes more natural. So I'll definitely do this again, and I'm not sure when I'm going to stream again. I have to think about if I want to have a schedule, or if I want to to just stream whenever, because I mostly work during the day, so I could actually stream a lot of my kind of more kind of when I do stuff for a video or something, but I'm not sure about that. We might have to see. And Fuji says, "Hi, Six, I love your videos. I am in the process of building the Emerald Cathedral, and honestly, I respect you and would really like for you to give me some tips to build like you." I would like to give you a lot of tips. I'm actually finished off the stream now, but I would watch some of the guide videos. I have a playlist, I believe, and yeah, there are some that talk about kind of how I approach building in different kinds of ways. But if you catch me on the next stream, I will again just keep talking. I will keep talking while building. I will talk about the process, and you can always. I mean, I will of course repeat a lot of the kind of methods I'm using, but generally I will add a lot of kind of different tips. What shaders do I use? I use complementary shaders. I've used that for many of my videos. For some of my first videos, I used some other shaders, and for the Golden Palace, I used photon shaders. I just thought it looked better. That build looked better with that shader. But my go-to is complementary shaders. Unbound, I believe it is. A great builder. Thank you so much. Just so impressed. Thank you so much for the stream. This has been really good. Thank you. It has been really fun. It's I'll definitely do it again. It's a bit out of my wheelhouse, but I mean, I think it's fairly quickly it becomes natural. And I have been speaking in my videos for a long time, also for the tutorials. I just speak off the cuff usually. So yeah, it's definitely a thing where it's not that far from what I'm used to in a way. I'm a 30-year-old grandmother, have been with Minecraft since its beginning. Your attention to detail is what makes your builds so challenging, which I love. Thank you so much. That is awesome. That is awesome that you've played it for so long. Yeah, thanks for saying. Thank you too. This single stream gave me so much inspiration for my next building. Thank you so much. I really like your building style. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Okay, is it just complementary? Complementary? Is it complementary unbound? I think it's unbound. I think this is. Well, so this is unbound. Yes, unbound. Such a good atmosphere. Thank you so much. Great honor to see you live. Thank you. Yeah, well, let's go to the full screen now, and it has been so much fun. I will definitely stream again, and yeah, I will try to figure out if I want to have the same day each
Hey, Mitsua. Nice to see you here. Yeah, I will have to see if I want to find one day a week, or if I just will try and change it for each time. I'm not sure yet. In a way, it could be fun to just have it be the same day each week or something, but we'll see about that. Maybe people can come on Discord and make some suggestions. But yeah, it has been so much fun, and thank you so much, all of you, for hanging out. I can just take some final questions. I'm not working on a build right now. I have to finish the last video for the Utgard tutorial, and then I have a new build I want to make after that. It's probably the largest build to date, and it's a different build than anything I've built before. So it's that will be really fun and challenging too. It's a different style. It will be I have mentioned it before in my Discord, kind of giving hints to what it is, but it's definitely something a little bit out of my wheelhouse. But that's fine. Yeah, largest build today. I think it will be a kind of a different type of build too. Thanks, Brittany. You have a great day. And Fusion, I answered your question. It's not that often that you have a responsive live streamer with many subscribers. I only just popped in. Did you build today? Yeah, I did build something. We started on a new build on a mountain. A build that kind of resembles the. It's going to be a bit like the. Like Crestling Castle, if you know that build. I've made a bit. I'm trying to kind of not make the same again. I'll use some different colors and give it a bit of a different style, but it's something in that ballpark, yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. So now I have to figure out how to stop the stream, but I will go to the stream ending screen, which is also a nice little cozy video. But thank you so much, and thanks for the mods for helping me out, and for the super chats that's been there. That's awesome too. I loved doing this stream, so thank you so much. You've been great, all of you. So let's see if I can actually finish a stream if I'm able to do that. But yeah, bye.